Of course, we don't know what's gonna be in PT. It's not released. This is only for fun. It's like a thought experiment. Oh yeah. So anyway, so what do we know about PT? We know it's. I don't exactly remember how they phrased it, but it's something like it's easier than EO. Like from their point of view, EO is hard and PT is easier, right? I don't remember the quote, but that's like they said that. I'm pretty sure. That's too big. A little too big. One sec. Better. This is like closer to advanced scaling. So yeah, this said closer to advanced scaling. So like to me that kind of seems to imply the HP values especially. I guess you could interpret it as the auto attacks, but that I think there's no way the auto attacks are coming back personally. So like anyway, all they really confirm is it's easier than EO from their point of view, and it's closer to MI scaling. It's kind of crazy that you'd think MI is like it's like that almost seems to read like they think MI is easier than EO, which sounds insane to me, but that might be what they're like saying, right? Yeah, well, I mean that's where we're gonna start like making assumptions. Well, no, right now we're not making assumptions. Yeah, we're just like the facts, right? It's just the facts. There's a F floor 99 boss. Accessible. Dude, why does it keep switching the size of everything I do? Accessible to everyone. Trying to remember, is there anything else that like they confirm about it? EO is harder, PT is easier, closer to advanced scaling, floor 99 boss, accessible to everyone. I think that's pretty much what they confirmed. All I said. Some pillar where you could choose some options. Some pillar. You mean the votives? Yeah, you mean the votives. Oh my god, I'm going crazy. Why does it keep switching the size? Okay. Dude, don't format your shit in Notepad. Lesson learned. Alright, one sec. It says I can make a bulleted list. Might as well do that. Then why is it writing it? Oh, you know what? I have a better idea, dude. One sec. We're just gonna make everything like that, and then I'll just zoom into the notepad itself. Alright. Yeah, so there's new mechanic with votives. Did it show us that the junipers are kind of like super clones plus magicite? And also a votive, just to be clear, it's a next floor effect. Wait, we don't know shit about the new palms. There are indeed more checkpoints. More checkpoints. Junipers are kind of like super clones plus match side. More checkpoints. Trying to, I watch all the live letters that like covered this. So I'm trying to just remember. We did see that 110 looked way squishier than 110 in EO. I mean, traps, nothing was really different about the traps. Layouts were still squares. We did not see the boss. We did not see any new trap. I think that's mostly covering what we know. So then, assumptions now. Like, what are the assumptions we can make from that? Which I guess it will be very subjective, of course. So we're not all gonna agree there. So I think personally, when they say it's gonna be easier than EO, I read it like easier than EO equal telegraphs don't one-shot you for a while. One of the bosses, the Rainbow Mount with minions. Yeah, I mean, we did, I guess, yeah, we did see, like, you know, what the things look like. Doesn't really, I mean, that's a fact, but I doubt we're gonna infer much gameplay from it. But yes. So, my assumption, one of my assumptions is easier than EO. By this, they mean telegraphs don't one-shot you for a while. My other assumption is closer to MOI scaling. By this, they mean HP increase is gradual and logical. Because in EO, there's a big problem where the HP increase, or like, not like the HP as in the raw HP value necessarily, but just like the amount of damage, it like goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it's like, it's stable for the end. I think we're gonna see a kind of more close to MOI scaling. So that's another assumption of mine. Another assumption of mine is because there are more checkpoints, there's probably a bigger difficulty spike right after the last one. So I think because there's gonna be a bunch of checkpoints, it's not really gonna make it like EO where the endgame is easy. I think they're gonna lean into the endgame being hard in relation to the other sets. So I would expect 71 is the last checkpoint. I would expect 71, it's gonna get like, it's gonna be like harder than 61. And then I expect 81 to 100 is gonna be like a real challenge compared to like Eureka or Toast. So that's also one of my assumptions. Yeah, like exactly. Checkpoints will let you practice. So like if they're gonna let you practice, it would make sense that it's gonna be a bit harder. So that's probably a good thing. Keep in mind though, if you want to get the title, you still have to start from 1. Now, you know, of course, when they say it's gonna be accessible to everyone, like, accessible to everyone is very broad, right? It could mean so many things. I think part of it is the checkpoints. In fact, I'd say like a big part of it is the checkpoints, in my opinion. So that's kind of what they were talking about, the checkpoints. But I also think if they say it's accessible to everyone, I think overall the whole deep dungeon will not be too difficult. I think that's also gonna be a thing. So like, yes, I said the endgame will be hard, but I mean like in relation to the rest of the deep dungeon, right? Yes, but even if they balance, I know they're talking about 4-man, but even if they balance around the 4-man, it obviously has an impact for soloing, right? So if it's easier for 4-man, well, it's also going to be easier for us. The people that don't 4-man. Yeah, oh, you mean the accessibility? Yeah. I mean, big part of the accessibility, you're right though. Like they said now you can match party like to the very high floors. Checkpoints. Another part of it is the matched party beyond 30. That's right. And then I do think also a little part of it will be like overall the deep dungeon won't be too bad to clear. Also attain an assumption we can make from the checkpoints. Assumption from many checkpoints. So hear me out there. If you can start redo a run from floor 70, that implies you can do everything from floor 70 without pumps. So I think because there's checkpoints on the very high floors, that it wouldn't really make sense if they let you start on the higher floor, but then it's impossible to clear. So I think that means the difficulty, it can't really be harder than like they basically would expect you to be able to beat it with no palms, right? As a group at least. So I think we can make that assumption today. We can make the assumption that the time management won't be that bad. I guess that's what I'm getting at there. Probably means time management isn't too bad. I mean, it could be that it's balanced in a way where a 4-man could do with no palms, but then not a soloing person. But then also keep in mind, if they're balancing for the average player, and especially after having this whole slide about making it accessible to everyone, if they're balancing it for the average player, and especially if they're balancing for, like, let's say 1 healer, 1 tank, 2 DPS, I really would be surprised that it would not be soloable without palms. Because, like, basically you'd have to be, like, let's say the soloing player is probably higher skill than average than the 4-man party. Because, the soloing person is a challenge, right? So it'd be hard for me to imagine that it's balanced in such a way where the solo person can't do it, but then 4 average player could. Yeah, any party could do no palms FNI, no palms PUTD in the end game. Even if they start at, like, if they start at 171 PUTD, they could do it. If they start at 71 MI, they could do it. Could a soloing person do it? Probably, but with, like, good pickup RNG, right? But then also, I think FNI PUTD is much more difficult than EO and PT. And because I think PT will be easier than EO, then it's like, it also means I think it's going to be easier than FNI and PUTD. So that's why I don't think time management is going to be very, very difficult. I mean, these are assumptions, of course. I could be wrong. That's why it's going to be fun to look at this in retrospective in, like, a few weeks. You were thinking they might give you a few pumps if you start floor 70 solo. No, I don't remember why we know, but I know that we know that it's not the case. It must have been some quote or something they said, but I do remember I was thinking like you at first, but you don't start with palms when you, like, go to a checkpoint. Just make the boss a 25-minute damage sponge for solo tank 4 and 5 minutes as a group, and so to still have a time difficulty. Yes, however, we know we're getting clones. I'm like 98% sure from watching the VODs and what he showed that the votives, they are clones that also do something else. It really looked like the Feo, she was hanging out and she was basically doing DPS with you. So I think it's gonna be very similar to clones. For a reason. And, like, the bosses are spongy and, like, very spongy, right? I don't think it's gonna be more spongy than EO. Like, I would expect them to be squishier than EO. Did I write this easier? HP increase? Okay, so yeah, another assumption, I guess I might as well go from there, is the monsters. This is not really based on anything. It's like, but I feel like the monster, well, it is based on something. Due to bad feedback from EO, which they mention, I expect the HP values to be lesser overall. So I think monsters are gonna be less tanky. Maybe it's gonna be equal when you get to the end, or like slightly tankier, but I think overall it's gonna be squishier than Yo, because like they kind of address the feedback. They kind of addressed the feedback, and they kind of admitted Yo was a slug from what I could remember. So another person, this is really not based on anything. I guess it's based about the difficulty, but I think auto attacks will auto attack damage will be equal or less than your Kartos. That's my feeling. I don't think it's gonna be very threatening with auto attacks again. I would really love if I was proven wrong there, though. I would love if I was proven wrong. That's just my feel, though. My feeling. Resident Evil sounds depressing. I mean, but when we saw Yoshipi, like, you know, messing around in 110, he was taking, like, no damage, bro. Like, it was something... I think he needed to get attacked 50 or 60 times to die. It didn't look very promising for auto attack damage. Like, yes, of course, it's the first set. So, you know, like, once again, if they say it's closer to Evanized scaling, maybe they mean the auto attacks too. But, like, I... Kind of a common point of complaint from people that don't do a lot of deep dungeons, the auto attack is too high in Evan High. So I'd be very surprised if you went back to these numbers, especially if there's no crits, which also is another assumption. There will be no crits. So, like, that's another assumption I have. So, like, how much could they really increase the damage without crits? Like, Yo, like, let's be fair to Yo. Damage is... it's not like the monsters don't do damage. It's just, it's, like, very consistent. Plus, there's many mechanics during it. But, like, yeah, if you stand still... You probably lose the battle of attrition against a lot of monsters on the DPS. If you like fight it for a minute, you probably would die. You would probably get to a point where you can't sustain yourself anymore. It's just that it doesn't really come up because they do a lot of abilities. They're vulnerable to CC, and you don't take a minute to kill them, right? So, okay, let me just go over my assumptions again. I think it's easier than Yo. I think that by them saying it's easier than Yo, it means telegraphs don't one-shot you for a while. Closer to Evanized scaling, HP increase is gradual and logical. Yeah. Because there's more checkpoints, there's probably a better difficulty spike right after the last one. Yeah, which is 471. I think by accessible to everyone, they mean a big part of it is the checkpoints. Another part of it is the match party beyond 30. And I think overall the deep dungeon won't be too bad to clear. Assumption from many checkpoints is, I think if you can start from 470, that implies that you can do it for without bombs as a group. Probably mean time management isn't so bad. And also as a group, I would even go further and say, like, as an average group of players, probably means time management isn't so bad. Due to the feedback from Mio, which I mentioned, I expect HP values to be lesser overall. I think auto attack damage will be equal or less in EO. There will be no crits. I love how I say there will be no crits, as in, like, you know, as if it was a fact, but unfortunately, I think we might even put this in. I mean, he never got crit in like when we saw, he never got crit. So, you know, I guess we might as well put this in fact, because he never got crit in the video, and there's no way he never got crit. It's not really an assumption at this point. You're still not convinced it's starting floors and not just restart only. So the checkpoints, definitely they said that if you die, you can restart. Like, so let's say I have a run and I die on 86. I can definitely restart that run on 71. But you are right that I don't know if you can start a run at 71. I'm not sure if you can actually do a fresh run at 71, or if it's just if a run dies, then you can restart it over and over at like this floor set, right? But whichever one it is, it doesn't really change what I think of the checkpoints. Like, because I feel like if they let you restart 71, either they have a system where they would basically remember your palms from many sets ago, which, knowing that 14 really doesn't like keeping data and they always complain that there's too much data to keep, I would be surprised that worked that way. But even if it worked that way, I mean, they still will have to plan around a team that just has no palms in 371, right? So they can't really... Like, it wouldn't really make sense if you can basically soft lock your run from having 2 bad palms. So whichever way the checkpoint works, even if you can't shoot directly into it, I think it doesn't really change my assumptions around it. But yes, that is a good point. There was something else I wanted to add. Oh yeah, because one votive doubles your... No, sorry, Juniper. I keep mixing them up. Because one Juniper doubles your HP, I expect that HP increase to let you survive almost anything. So sorry, maybe a bit of a stretch, but... So there's a votive, sorry, a Juniper. Man, it's really hard to remember what they're called. There's a Juniper that what it does is it doubles your HP. I mean, I'm assuming the way it's balanced, they kind of want you to not die to anything if you have the double HP active on a on a DPS. So like, if you can survive something with double HP on a DPS, to me that kind of implies that you can survive anything on a tank with mitigation, or even maybe without mitigation. So then it makes me think tanks can survive almost any hit with nothing. So I think that's how I'm gonna like interpret this. I think tanks are gonna be actually very sturdy, which they're not really that big of a deal in EO because they still die to most things. Like, yes, you can tank things with mitigation, but it's like you need like 2 CDs for so many telegraphs. And you're not really popping 2 CDs on reaction. That's the thing, right? I mean, you're barely gonna pop your invuln on reaction most of the time. So these are, I think, my assumptions. And then if we just look at the screenshots real quick, I did open the website. I got the goods. Background, no. Where's my browser? There. Okay, so I got the website there. That's all the screenshots we have right now. I don't think we're gonna be able to tell much from there, but it can be nice to look at them. That's one of the Showbringer monster. That's us. That's my wife. So that's the first set. We saw this in the live letter. I mean, it just looks pretty nice. I think, especially if you look at the later like screenshots, my feeling is that the way this is gonna look like is I think it's gonna be like very upbeat. It's gonna start very upbeat and, you know, pretty and super flowery. And the deeper you go, or like the longer you go, the more it's gonna kind of become kind of like Sin Eater team, you know, like very dark, gloomed. So I think that's what they're going for there. It's gonna go from like pretty, flowery to just gloomy and dark. That's a boss arena, I'm pretty sure. At least it looks like one. 110 again. So yeah, see, I think the deeper you go, it's gonna start looking more like that. Now, it could be interesting to think, and maybe like this would be a natural environmental. It'd be like basically a hazard effect, right? Like, I don't know, like this does damage if you step on it. I don't think so, but it's fun to think about. See there, we see like really far back there's a manticore. There's a Sin-Eater Manticore, so there's definitely going to be a lot of Manticores. Also, this looks like the Tempest a little bit. Like underwater. I mean, that's definitely a boss of some kind. With ads. Well, that's a... Yeah, I saw this boss. This is a boss, obviously, but there's a very... it's a very unique arena. That... I guess we can kind of maybe make an assumption from this. I mean, if they're gonna put unique arenas in Deep Dungeon, that means they probably have bosses with pretty involved mechanics. Bad to guess. Because we have nothing like that. Like, at most, right now, we have bosses that reposition themselves in the middle of the room before they do something, but we don't really have a unique arena. I guess the closest one would be floor 80 of EO, where like technically it's a baked donut whenever he goes into his second phase. Yeah, it does remind me of the Alliance raid with the Sid. I believe that's the floor 99 boss, the one that has a quantum version. And these are just the rewards, the mount, my wife minion version, probably another minion. An umbrella that I bet is going to be very popular. Wonder if it's going to drop on the early badge or the late badge. Another thing about the badge, by the way, is you seem to get a shit ton of them. Because they... If I'm not wrong, you get the best badge from doing a challenge log equivalent. So like weekly, you can get free badge. Which probably means that whatever the badge give you will become worthless like very fast. Since you can generate like... It was a good amount. It was a lot of them every week too. And you don't have to clear to get these badges. So that's something to keep in mind. The Rainbow Leaf boss was shown in a video in a tweet. The small guys are probably just a telegraph for you. He's not actual ads. Okay. Okay, yeah. They're just like kind of like a point blank AoE thing. Yeah, exactly, Turin. Like, I think the bags are gonna be worth it for like maybe a week or two, but then I think it's not gonna be like POTD where it's still a great money maker. I think if they're a challenge log, they will be just worthless in a few weeks. So I don't really think this will be like a good deal in the long run. It's not gonna be like POTD in my opinion. POTD is kind of sick for money still. All right. Okay, so now that we kind of like went over everything, where's my notepad? Maybe I might move this. Enable preview, lock preview. Maybe I could keep this somewhere. Oops. Dude, how many? Like, nah, that's too big. We'll just keep it like hidden. But now we can kind of make like a. So the tier list has two goals. First of all, the point of the tier list is for me to just kind of like look at whatever the jobs get at max level, because I have no idea what most jobs that get at max level. I think for most of them, they basically just get an extra button after their like big burst. But I don't actually know. And second reason I'm doing a tier list is it's fun. And I think it's going to be very fun to just look at it after it releases and see if I was right or if I was wrong. But of course, we're gonna rank with basically the assumptions I have, right? So like basically, I made up a PT in my head, and I'm gonna rank with that PT in mind. You know, AV bias for Pito and Smudge incoming. Okay, yeah, I should also specify this is a clearing tier list, not a scoring tier list. For clearing, I don't think Smudge is really that big of a deal. It's nice because it gets you out of like telegraph. I think it's one of the few dashes actually that is so fast that yes, it can get you out of telegraphs, but it's not really that valuable compared to a scroll run. Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna find out, Turin, because I have no fucking idea what most jobs get. In my head, my assumption for jobs is they just get like a big burst button or something. Okay, so first of all, we should probably change this because dude, it's so freaking annoying to try and find a tier list on that website. I don't know why everyone uses the like ugly job stones for like their icons. Like the actual drop stones. Like who the hell does this? It's so hard to find a tier list that has these icons, I swear. Alright, so let's say... What will be my tiers? Let's say like amazing. Great. Decent. Average. Subpar. And then let's just say like... bad, awful. There. Well, that's a lot of tiers. We have a lot of granularity. Man, I can't use these words. We have a lot of like tiers to split things. Granularity. Granularity. Whatever. Too difficult. Alright. Let's just change the colors. Did that Astro tier as is tradition? Yeah, I guess we're also going to be ranking basically. Like, let's say I put something in awful. Let's say I put this in awful. I'm ranking in relation to the deep dungeon itself. So if I say Bard is awful, I don't necessarily mean it's really bad at clearing. I mean it's bad compared to the other things in PT, right? Because it's possible that it's gonna be like EO where everything is kind of like average. But we're gonna be a little more like, you know, we're gonna do a little bit more for the views, you know. We're gonna be ranking things as if like the most awful job is something and then the most amazing something else. I hate that it says PvP. I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much. Alright, let's sort them by role. So let's start with the tanks. Let me just get the order in game. Paladin, Warrior, Dark Knight, Gun Ranger. These are some nice freaking icons, man. I don't know where that person got them, but they got a little shine to them. Okay, next we have White Mage, Scholar, Astro Sage. White Mage, Scholar, Astro Sage. Then for melee, we have Monk, Dragoon, Ninja. Monk, Dragoon, Ninja. Samurai, Reaper, Viper. Samurai, Reaper, and Viper. Then we have Bard, Machinist, Dancer. Bard, Machinist, Dancer. And lastly, we have Black Mage, Summoner, Red Mage, Peto. Like this. Sorting algorithm stream. These fucking videos don't remind me of them. Alright. That's good. Okay, so here's the way I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do them in order. I will be just looking at what the job gets at max level, you know, before each one, and then we'll just rank them accordingly. Also, this will very likely be on YouTube, so be nice. Okay, and yes, as a reminder again, this is just for fun and for me to familiarize myself with level 100 jobs. If you watch this and you're like, this is stupid, why are you ranking them? You're missing the point. Like, that's you're totally missing the point, bro. This is for fun. I did this same exact thing in Euricartos, and some people totally missed the point too. So just as a little reminder. Alright, so Paladin. Paladin, I played it actually, like, you know, literally yesterday, so that's like one of the few ones that I know what it gets. Paladin gets, I think every tank even gets this. They get basically a stronger 40%. In the case of Paladin, they get a shield, and I think it's 10% more. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, so 10% more reduction, plus they also get a small shield. Well, a small shield. 1,000 is not small. A pretty good shield. They get this, which is just like your request cap is different. Oh, interesting. This makes you request that AoE. So you get an AoE button. But it's basically the same. It's just a harder hitting AoE button. And then your combo is the same as max level. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4. However, you get this thing. An OGCD at the end of it. Now, can you keep that OGCD? You can. Interesting. So you can actually keep it in the bank. Doesn't seem like anything removes it. Now, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but technically you can keep it, like if you did something that was really difficult or something. Yeah, it's also the same range as your Confiteer combo, which is 25, by the way. That's a lot, man. 25. That's like longer than your shield lock. So Paladin overall is the same as in EO, except I think a big advantage. Oh, you get range on your Imperator move. Oh, dude, that's huge, Russell. Thanks for pointing it out. That's... Yes. Like Russell said, I didn't realize this at first. Thank you for the sub, Velvet, by the way. Hello, good morning to you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. But yeah, as Russell said, I didn't realize you get range on your Imperator. That's really good. I didn't realize, dude. So, because there's a big problem with Paladin right now in EO, is it's like often you want to kite away from something, but you have to like get back in because you want to like kickstart your combo, right? So you have to like, even though you want to kite, like, I don't know, let's say there's a chest there, and like you're doing your GCs and now your quest cut is up, well, you can't really do this because then you won't be able to get it up. So you have to like get close, pop it, and then start running. But now I could just do this. That's actually really good. That's probably, honestly, that's the biggest thing you get on Paladin. So I'm very glad you pointed out. Thank you. See, that's why this is a good idea to do. These are things I would probably not even notice for such a long time otherwise. Okay, so I will try not to let my personal bias get the best of me. I swear. So I mean, it's no... My assumptions, though, kind of mean that I don't think tanks are going to be performing that crazy because they still have the same issue where I don't think damage is going to be very high, damage intake from auto attacks, but I think monsters are going to be like somewhat tanky. A bit less than Neo, but I still think they're going to be somewhat tanky. But then keep in mind, we're going to compare to like big boy DPS later on. So like, could a tank really be amazing if it does not... If it can't compete with the damage of a DPS, when the DPS probably is not taking that much damage? I don't know. Could a tank be great? Now, there's also a thing I think in PT that will happen, is that I think you're going to be able to survive more telegraphs as a tank, even without reacting with like a mitigation or something. Especially if you have the double HP Juniper. If you have the double HP Juniper on a tank, I mean, the only way you're gonna die on a boss, it has to be an instant kill mechanic, right? So then I guess the question would be, are they gonna add those? They had one instant kill, I think, in EO. The entirety of EO, the only thing I can think of that insta kills you is running the middle of the room in floor 80. I think everything else, it's never a real one shot, but it does just like massive damage. But then in EO, if I had a double HP Juniper, then I would survive those. But then I also think the damage might be lower in PT. So like, you know, with that in mind, I honestly think tanks... I think tanks were in average in EO. I think honestly tanks might get bumped up a little bit. I still don't think they're going to be amazing. I do think being able to do a lot of damage, and especially because the DPS, they also did the double HP Juniper, right? I think the DPS, if he has a steal and a double HP Juniper, I think he can probably survive like most things. Now Paladin gets a really nice range buff, which is great for just uptime in general. It's great for like doing kiting and checking chests. I don't know, like between decent and great, honestly. I think it's better than average, honestly, with what I imagine PT is gonna be. I think it's gonna be better than average. I'm not even gonna really talk about its AoE potential because I don't think AoEing is like that big of a deal in our just a clear. Let's put it in Descent for now. I mean, we're gonna look at this again at the end too. I think Descent's fair. We'll see where it compares in relation to the other tanks. Like maybe it's gonna get bumped up. So next one we have Warrior. Okay, what the hell does Warrior get? Warrior gets... I technically played a bit of Warrior in what's that bad content? OC. I played a bit of Warrior in OC. I think you just get like a bait button after your bait button. Well, you get a Vengeance that's better. So it's 10% more. The Reflect is the same. And it gives you heal over time when it ends. Okay, so it's just a stronger 40%. I should really check the traits too. Let me just like briefly check file and see if I missed anything. I mean, increase, reprisal. Okay, so this order is the same. Everything gets this though. I remember everything gets a better rampart because it heals you more, and also everything gets a reprisal that's longer. That's kind of worthless though in the deep dungeon, but okay. So Warrior gets those two. He has the same melee mastery thing. And then it just gains stacks. And yeah, I guess the traits are gonna be mostly just like unlocking your big buttons. So anyway, you get stronger 40%. And then I believe I mean, let's see. If I go into my combo, I think if I do 3 Felt Leaves, I get 3 stacks of this thing. Yeah, I get this. This is a no GCD. Yeah, it's a no GCD. It does not go away, so I can build it up again. Yeah, I can just keep it. And then after Primal Ren, I get another thing, which is also AoE. And this is an AoE. So you get 2 AoE buttons, pretty much. Which hit pretty hard. They hit about as hard as you would if you just did your Inner Chaos. And that's pretty hard hitting. So you get a pretty big injection of potency in general. Though I'm gonna go off the assumption, because this is like main level content, I will assume that jobs are close. So like I would assume the damage of Paladin single target is close to the damage of Warrior and single target. This is also melee. This is melee, 5-yard radius. Yes, and you need to do 3 GCDs to get it. Can you do 3 different GCDs? Like, can I do 2 single target and 1 AoE? Yeah, okay, so at least you can switch between them. You don't have to do like 3 single target specifically to get it, or 3 AoE, you can switch between them. And yeah, you still have to get your buff and everything. Alright, got a pretty good idea of what it is. I mean, Warrior is still the same as before. It's still got like the raw intuition power. Though I will say, raw intuition, as busted as it is on the early like levels, it's probably, I mean, it's still really OP up there, but I think the gap is less. I think the gap of the healing power Warrior is a bit less. Because at this point, every tank has massive cooldowns, like even Paladin, like, gets heal on almost everything it does. So it's all the same advantages that I thought about with Paladin, except I think it's worse. For everything except its healing. It definitely has better healing. It has way better healing in Paladin. Now, is healing... Does healing matter if you're trying to clear a place that I think will not have very high damage? That I think, yes, there's going to be hard hitting telegraphs, which tanks can like barely survive, or even maybe not even barely survive. I think there's going to be telegraphs you can survive on tank, but Like, if you get hit by a bad telegraph and you're at 10% HP, I don't think there's really a big difference between being warrior and paladin, because you're still just gonna heal from like one button. Yeah, it's like, why do you even need healing if nothing hurts? Now, of course, if you like talking in weapons, this is not like the same, because then the limit that you could pull on warrior is much higher than the limit you could pull on paladin, just because right motion is really broken in big pulls. But I don't know. I think like you do get two like buttons that sounds pretty strong. I don't think though. I don't know though. I feel like it's not as good as paladin. Like paladin is just that range power, that uptime, and then paladin just has less healing. I don't think it really matters. I think we're gonna put in an average for now. And then we'll see. Alright. Dark Knight. I have no idea what Dark Knight gets. We're gonna be saying that for a lot of jobs. Is this granted you know every mechanic on the mobs and bosses? Because in blind runs being able to spam defensive is more value. It's kind of like a bit of both, I guess. I guess I'm thinking of... I guess the way I'm seeing it is like, let's say I was going for Omni, then how likely would I clear this job first try? That's kind of how I'm seeing it. But I think that just the massive amount of tankiness you have on tanks, I think it's gonna like... And plus the fact that this is gonna be easier than EO, I think it's gonna make you able to survive telegraphs even if you don't react with mitigation. I know people had said great things about Dark Knight, but it might just be that little Dark Knight bias they have got going there. So what do we get? We get increased thing, Rampart melee. It's probably another button. Grants the effect of scorn after each thing live in shadow. Scorn. Must be a button of some kind. So we get this. So your thing is just 10% more, but also you gain a X-Cog when it expires. You gain X-Cog on your thing. It's a 2-minute cooldown though. I feel like X-Cog on a 2-minute cooldown. Scholar is 60 seconds, right? For like X-Cog. It's 45. It's 45 and I wish I had it all the time. So 2 minutes, I like X-Cog, but it's pretty long cooldown to get it. Alright, this team. Deal physical in a straight line, 1,000 to... Oh, that's a lot of damage with very small drop-off. I think that's just your combo is just improved. I mean, let's just hit the dummy and see what we get. So that's one. Okay, so this is just like a improved combo. Interesting, this... It gives you MP though. It doesn't give you MP with like the regular one. So that's new. So you get more MP, which means more opportunities to get the blackest knife if you need it. Impalement. Wait, really? But then it says on the skill that you get MP too. So do you just get double the MP with those then? Because these specifically say restore MP, but Delirium doesn't. Not Delirium, but Blood Spiller doesn't. I think that you get the same MP. I think you get the same amount of MP. That's weird though. This is kind of badly reflected in the skill tooltips. But yeah, blood weapon effect, each time increase blood dodge by 10 and restore MP open lightning weapon skills and spells. But then they repeat the restore MP thing there, but then they don't say it again on like the blood spiller. Weird. Either way. So, and then when you do live in shadow, you get this. The big hit. Now, how do I get impalement is the real question. Oh wait, no, is impalement? Oh, it's the AoE tanks. Okay, right. Okay, so these are just like different buttons. So I guess the big takeaway there is mostly that you get a really strong AoE move on whenever you use Esteem. Nothing else really stands out to me. Did it give me 800 instead of 600? Maybe. I mean, I guess I could test this real quick. I guess we're gonna find out right there. Let me just blow all my mana. I get 800 there. 800. Wait, you have this in you? Oh, I didn't level Sing Duh. Cannot I die? That's gonna take absolute ages, dude. Well, I forgot to do my one save. Well, at least now we know we get 800 from that, so we just have to compare. Alright, so we get 800 from the improved one, and then let's see the old one. Yeah. Shadow gets the one new AoE move too. We saw that in the trade, I think. Alright, let's see how much MP we get there. No, you get 800. It's the same. Dude, that is terrible tooltips there. That's actually really bad tooltips. Alright. Okay, we got a pretty good idea of what this job does now. So Dark Knight, I still think, I don't know, man. Maybe it's the paladin bias, but honestly, I'm looking at this. It's basically, I don't know. Like, to me, it feels kind of like warrior. It feels similar to warrior. I mean, they're both probably going to be doing similar damage. You get Edge card on Dark Knight. On the warrior, you get just more heals overall. But then Dark Knight has the Blackest Night, which also something interesting with the Blackest Night is it's a percentage of your health that gives you a shield. I think it's 20% or something. It's 25%. It gives you a 25% shield. But then if you have the votive the juniper that it doubles your HP, that means you're effectively gaining a 50% shield. I mean, you're getting 25%, but then it's actually like 50% of your original health, right? So you get a really fat shield. So there's a chance, if there's like a truly insanely hard-hitting move that does like a billion damage, there's a chance Dark Knight could be the only thing that survives it. I don't know how likely we have to get a move like that, though. I feel like if they would have a move that would kill a double HP Dark Knight with the Blackest Night and cooldowns, then they probably would make that move just kill you instantly instead. Like, that seems like it would hit for so much damage. I don't know. I think average. I don't think sub 4. I don't think it's gonna be sub 4. I think it's average. I I really have hope that the tanks, they shine more in there than they did in EO. I really feel like their tankiness might actually make a difference, especially if you don't know the mechanics that well. Now, I don't know. To me, I really feel like the telegraphs won't be as nasty as they were in EO. I'm really expecting that. Well, that might be why I'm ranking the tanks a little nicer. Alright. Fans' favorite, Gunbreaker. I heard a lot of good things about Gunbreaker too. Something about Leonard. The fans' favorite. So what we get there? So, man, people are like, tanks don't feel the same, and then everything is the same trait. Oh, interesting. This is Trail of Battle. No, I mean, not interesting. I mean, it's. I mean, interesting that they added Trail of Battle, but also not interesting that they literally added Trail of Battle on it. You know, it's kind of both at the same time. So you just get a Trail of Battle there, which I assume, I guess, is the same thing with the same thing about the Juniper. I guess it would increase your health, which also is true for Trail of Battle. Alright, I know Double Down is already kind of badass. We had this in EO though. Reign of Beast. Just an extra hit. Lionheart, that's the thing people made a big deal about. Faded Brand. Okay, so you don't get it by doing this. You don't get it from doing Double Down. You get it from doing Bloodfest. Reign of Beast. Noble Blood. Okay, that's just a combo. Was Fated Brand part of this? No, that's an AoE. What the hell is Fated Brand? Is it after I do Fated Circle? Oh yeah, it is. Wait, I thought there were 3. That's a 2-minute cooldown though. That's not. I don't know. Am I crazy to think that people kind of overplayed the power you get from Gunbreaker? This is like basically every tank gets hits like that, but like Gunbreaker, in the case of Gunbreaker, it only gets them every 2 minutes. That doesn't seem that strong compared to what we just saw on Dark Knight and oh no, that's not true. Dark Knight is also 2 minutes. However, Warrior was every minute, but it was less. Paladin was every minute, but it was 1. I guess they're kind of all the same then. I guess they're kind of all similar. Reign of Beast. Above. Oh yeah, you get 3, right. Because that's the startup. Okay, so you get 3. You get 3,000. 3,300 every 2 minutes. I still assume it's gonna make the single target competitive. I assume they're all kind of close in single target. It improves the Witching Burst. I wonder if Witching is gonna be like a Witching Burst is gonna be a big deal in PT. They really would have to have a threatening monster for that. I'm not expecting threatening monsters. It's gonna be nice and scoring though. You do lose your OGCDs on this job. I guess you lose this one too. Like if I keep it, I lose them. I really don't like when you lose your OGCDs. It feels like it takes away flexibility. Let me just remind myself what this does, because I have not played Gunbreaker that much. 15%. Okay, and the allied thing doesn't matter. Reduce damage taken by 15 for 4. Restore HP. It's also it's a net scrog too. 25 second net scrog. I mean, it's not a raw intuition, but that's pretty good. Can you do? You don't lose it. That's good. You don't lose this if you're doing other buttons. You can delay it for a while. Okay. I mean, things ended up being actually very similar. I guess I really... Paladin, the fact that you get a ranged like thing on your move is actually super exciting. Everything else about the tanks though, it's kind of whatever. They just get basically big hits after they're already big hit. I don't know. I think there's some Paladin bias there, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know, to me it feels... To me, I feel like I'd be more likely to clear with the counting power of Paladin than I would be to clear on just all of them. I think the survivability of tank is good, and it's probably better in PT than EO. But I don't think I think there's a point where you have too much healing. Like I feel like the extra healing on water doesn't really matter. The extra shield on Dark Knight. Dark Knight maybe. Like I feel like the fact that you're the Blackest Knight gives you so much health, especially on like a double HP floor. Maybe like that. Oh, I could be convinced. I could be convinced. Some, yeah, some. I don't like playing Dark Knight that much, but I could be convinced. I don't know. Like the shield sounds so much better to me. I don't know. It just sounds better because it's a bigger HP. I guess that's the way I'm seeing it. A bigger HP pool is better than more healing in the context of a clear, with the way this will be balanced. I'd rather like have a bigger, like let me put it that way. If Gunbreaker had like a flat 30% increase in HP and nothing else, I'd probably put it like above them, right? Let's go for that. Let's go with that for now. I mean, like I said, this is for fun and subjective, and it's not even released yet, so there's a lot of possibilities to be wrong. So just put it that way. I'm having fun though. I love making stupid tier lists like that. Also, it's a really good excuse to look at the skills, man. I'm glad I'm doing this. Alright. Healers now. White Mage first. White Mage actually one of my favorite jobs to play in Deep Dungeon. So let's see if that's still true. What do we get? Oh yeah, I vaguely remember this. I think you get like an extra cast of something after you use it. Swift cast 40 seconds. That's fast. Okay. I don't really care about these, by the way. Like, yes, it increases potency, but I'm always going with the assumption that the damage is competitive at max level, so... With the obvious ones, like Bard and Astro being lower, of course. But like for example, I look at the tanks, I assume they're all within 5% of each other. I look at the DPS, I'll assume they're close, etc. Oh yeah, you did have 2 stacks of this? Oh, I thought you did. Divine Race. Glare. So that's what you get when you use Presence Online. You get 3 casts that are stronger in your Glare, and you can do them instantly. We have a stronger Medica. Does that matter? Can you still stack the regions? Yeah. As size is the same. It's funny because as size is so strong when you get it, but then it gets a little bit worse every time because everything keeps getting potency, but not your as size. At this point, it's almost as much damage as your Glare. Divine Charis. Did I not get like... There was another skill, wasn't there? Divine Grace. Okay, Divine Grace is to cast Divine Charis, which is... a barrier, which gives you a heal over time when it expires. Honestly, bar is nice. But like 200 for a shield. Plus it's a very small shield. That's not that good. It's major radius. Wait, what? As sizes? This? I thought it was always that big. Maybe not. Nice. It's bigger. Bigger is stronger. Honestly, bigger is a downside in a regular tear though. It's good in a score run, but I think it's kind of a downside in regular clears, because then you get into situations like even on high where you're fine the whole way and then you just can't freaking use your buttons because it's gonna hit things in every room. Oop. I mean, so that's pretty much the same white mage. Yeah, that's pretty much the same white mage. Except when you do your presence of mind, you get a little bit of kiting. I assume these GCDs, they don't get like stuff. I assume I can keep them in the bank, right? Yeah. Or something that's nice is you don't have a self-damage buff, so you can actually keep those like until the like you don't have to. Like I can use one, I can kite, right? I can still do things. Then I can use another one. I don't have to like use all of them in a row. Well, unless I'm using a tincture, of course. I don't know, mostly the same. Now, I'm gonna be honest, maybe I'm like anti-healer, but I really don't think the damage is gonna be a big deal. But then you don't have like the big HP pool of a tank too. So I think the healers are gonna be all worse than a tank. I think every single healer is gonna be worse than a tank in PT. Which I think maybe I said the same thing in EO, but I think it's gonna be true for PT at least. Like, I don't know. I really don't have high hopes, man, for the healers. I really don't think they're gonna be matching up to tank. I think they're like a worse tank. Like it's basically similar damage, even a bit lower, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in like real content, healers do a little bit less damage than tanks, right? If we're looking at pure raw DPS, not like buffing. Tank is higher damage for sure. So like you're playing a tank that has no mitigation. Well, less mitigation, less HP, and is less damage. It's gotta be subpar. As much as I like White Mage. Also, in the case of White Mage, its gameplay doesn't really change either. So, alright. Scholar is next. No one-shots mean you're gonna get long crippling Isna-able debuffs. I guess that's a good point. Technically, healer could shine, there's a lot of debuffs. I don't think it's gonna be the case though. I guess I'm making that assumption like you, that I don't think that we're gonna get something like that. But yes, technically, if there's like shit ton of debuffs, healer could shine. There's a universe where the deep dungeon where healers shine is just spams you with non-stop debuffs, right? Like there's a universe. I don't know if it's our universe, but there's a universe where it's like that. Also, I think for healers, I'm considering EWing a little more than tanks. Because I feel like on healer, you might have to EW a little bit compared to a tank. Just because the damage is lower, but we'll see. So Scholar. You get that's the AoE thing, isn't it? Yeah. It's a pretty potent AoE, but it's every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes. Swift cast. Succor to Constitution. Recitation is that the one that gives you a crit? Yeah, that's the one that gives you a crit. That's pretty good, honestly. That's pretty nice. So I mean, crit at low is insane. It's like basically double your HP for free. That's nice. That's nice, honestly. I know Scholar's damage is lower than White Mage, though. I know Scholar's damage is not as bad as Astro, but it's kind of lower than White Mage and Sage. And what the hell is... Oh, it's just an upgrade. So this is just Restore HP and HP of owner by alignment. That's just like a bigger shield, I guess. Bigger shield's nice, but I don't think you can stack this shield. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't stack. So it's worthless. Let me just briefly look at the EO abilities. But that's not a job I play very often. I don't think there's really anything crazy though. Constellation. I mean, the fairy, I know how it works. They did say there's gonna be a transformation votive, so like technically the scholar is the only job that can heal. Sage maybe, depending on if it's abilities, spells, or weapon skills or whatnot. But like, it might be the only job that can heal during transformations. You know, that's interesting thinking about. They did say there's gonna be a votive that transforms you, but I wonder how that works. Like. Because then if it transforms you, is it like the whole floor? But then if it's the whole floor, you need a way to heal. Like, surely you would need a way to heal. Like, I'd be surprised if the votive that transforms you would, like, you actually had to quit the transformation right away because you can't heal. Like, that would really make sense. So I wonder if that would really be an advantage to have a fairy out during that. Hopefully it will be a good time in the new dungeon. I'm gonna have a good time in Deep Dungeon. I'm pretty excited for it. Maybe you can pop sustain it. A transformation where you can use items. That's very that'd be like a technological like groundbreaking thing. I'd be surprised. I think what's more likely to happen is we're going to get a like whatever transformation it is, it's gonna have like a healing thing attached to it, either through a skill or just like an ability that's always on. Man, it's so hard to look. Like, what is this? Like, how do I get this? It's manifestation. Like, there's just no explaining about what this is. Like, is it when I'm transformed? Like, is it when I do my Seraph? Dude, my bars are a mess on that job. Look at Seraphim. I swear it's somewhere on my bar. Is it this? No. I swear it's somewhere. This? Automatically cast Seraphic Veil. Meh. I still don't get it. Add low and searcher turn into those. Just read Seraphim. The hell is Seraphim? Do I not have this on my bars? I don't. Oh, that's a new skill, bro. I've never played Scholar in max level when there's many jobs. Dude, I have no space on my bars from this. What the fuck is this job, bro? Dude, this is real button bloat. This is a real button bloat. I don't know what the hell I remove. Need to be in combat. I'll hide those. Reset the emergency tech hit recast and reduces recast timer to 1. So it just makes it instant. That's good, but like maybe more in a scoring context. So it just makes them instant. The shield is the same value. Oh yeah, it's there. Well, it's not even keybound. So I bet that's the game that auto-put it there. It auto-put it there. What the fuck is emergency tactics, man? Oh, it's this. Sorry, this job's a mess, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's still a healer, though. There's no way it can be higher than white mage. In my opinion, it's either the same or worse. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Scholar is less damage than white mage and sage. The Adlo is very nice. Adlo's very nice. But it's not really... The thing with Adlo, though, is that you don't really react with it. You, like, use it preemptively, but that's still nice. If it lets you survive things... I don't know if Adlo would make the difference between you surviving or not. Probably yes, if you use, like, the big one. Like, the crit one with 60%... with 60% cooldown. I mean, Scholar is like a white mage that's more hard to play with a much bigger shield, which actually kind of almost makes it a tank when it's up. It's like almost makes it like an unmitigated tank when it's up. The fairy's nice. It might be even more nice during transformations if they're kind of wonky the way they're balanced. I don't know. I think I'm... But then it doesn't have, like, the blood lilies, right? The blood lilies are a pretty big deal for white mage, because it's the only healer that can really stack up a shit ton of damage while it's doing nothing between pulls. I don't think it's as good as the tank. This one's tough, man, because, like, defensively it looks like it has potential. But then it's not a tank, so I don't know if that potential is actually gonna matter. Like, I guess the question is, do I think telegraphs are gonna, like, you know, be between that sweet spot? Like, do I think a telegraph would one-shot a white mage with its shield, but not one-shot a scholar with its crit Adlo? No, it doesn't gain the list between pulls, but you just stay in combat. Like, the way you do it on white mage is you pull something, you fight it, you burst it, and then whenever it gets a little bit low, well, you start kiting away from it, which is now even better because now you have the triple glare, like the 3 glares that you can do while you're moving. So you just, like, let's say there's a gold chest 20 seconds away, well, you just kind of kill the monster while you're going to that chest, but then you're also building up lilies during that. It's very nice. Like, there's no reason you would not be fighting all the time on a healer, but it's even more important on white mage. That's a tough one, man. I'll put in support for now, but either white mage should be there or scholar should be down. Like, they don't really feel the same to me, the same tier, but I'll keep them in the same tier for now. All right, Astro. How much time have we been doing this now? Almost 2 hours. Yeah, classic. That's gonna be a long stream. Alright. Astro, my beloved. Astro's pretty fun nowadays. I don't mind playing it anymore. Divining. When you divine. Cool. I bet it's an extra button. Oh, that's the PvP button. That's a hard-hitting button. It's every 2 minutes, though. Third charge of ED. That's really strong. Sun touch. Five radius. A little thing of note, especially Astro, we really have to think of AoE pulling, because I think it's unlikely with single target switch through everything. But like, something of note is that this is a smaller radius than gravity, so it doesn't really flow well. This is just your AoE. Can you stack those? you can... There's no way that this is the follow-up, right? Wow. That's worthless, bro. What the fuck? After you use your 2 minutes, you can put a 10% reduction. That's worthless, man. Alright, well, that's a bunch of whatever. I don't know. This looks kind of bad, honestly. Like, at least the things you get at max level look kind of bad. Like, you get a damage shield, but then it's a smaller radius in your gravity, so it probably will miss things that your gravity is hitting. Gravity is big now. I mean, Astro though is still... Astro has a really great toolkit. It just doesn't have great damage, but its toolkit is actually really solid. I mean, you know, with getting a damage button, that's a burst. That's also cooldown based, so it's the best kind of burst. Surely that matters a little bit, but I mean, you're still doing very low damage. Now, you don't really have to do a lot of effort compared to the older Astro. But you can build a little bit of burst. That's good for AoE pulling, because you will have to AoE pull on Astro. And I think you would have to AoE pull on Scholar too. A White Mage and Sage probably get away without doing it, but I would expect that Scholar and Astro probably will have to do it to clear. Same cards. Field card is actually pretty big. It's not like at low level, but it's pretty big. But then you get it kind of every 2 minutes, so not that often. I don't know. Astro? It's a healer with... It's War's damage and Scholar and White Mage. It does not have the big shield of Scholar. It doesn't have a fairy auto-healing you. It has better AoE though. But then, like, better AoE is just kind of like putting you on level of White Mage. I don't know. It's probably still a tier below them. I don't think it's gonna be awful. Now, honestly, we might... Maybe this is more accurate. I don't know. Let's keep them, because the thing is, I haven't really looked at DPS yet. I feel like when I start looking at DPS, it's gonna... I think there's gonna be a lot of DPS up there, so probably we keep it like that for now. But yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is basically, do I think Astro is gonna be as good as White Mage or Scholar? I really don't think so. Like Scholar, I'm like maybe. White Mage though, that doesn't seem likely to me. Alright, Sage. What does Sage get? I have no idea what Sage gets. Fight. Okay. I don't know what that is. Is that this? No. Probably, That's a new button. Interesting. Which I also don't know where I'm going to put on my bars. Cool. I'll just put it there for now. That's just a better heal. Increase healing magic potency. That's also a new button, I guess. Grant self restoring HP after landing spells. So you get like a double cardio. This is it? Yeah. That's pretty good, man. For like AoE pulling, that's pretty good. I would assume this lets you heal yourself mostly every GCD for as long as it's up. Hmm. I haven't played Sage very much. Let me remind myself what it has. I think it has a knee wheat thing now. Yeah, this. But you can't stack them. Yeah, because they hate fun. I remember that. I remember the whole drama. They made them not stacked. And it has this thing. I mean, it's basically like an ass size, I guess. Like an ass size that does more damage on the main target. That probably... I don't know, very close to White Mage. I think though, having like on them and shields... Especially Sage, you can basically always have a shield on you. It's free, right? It's just... You do it before entering combat. And it's also an instant cast. Does not have the blood lilies though. It doesn't have the blood lilies. There's no way it's gonna be astral level. Is it better than a white mage? Having shields on them, man. There's no, but I don't really feel like it's gonna be as good as a tank. I feel like it's probably the same as Scholar, White Mage, Sage. Kind of feel this. There's only Scholar I misstated. I'm pretty confident Sage and White Mage are about the same though, because in Yoda they kind of feel the same. Like the blood lilies are nice. Well, in Yodo everything chills you instantly. Like there's a, it's possible that Sage being able to chill itself so easily would help a lot. I think I'll keep it there for now. Monk. Starting the DPS now. So now we're gonna have things that are probably gonna be higher than that. I think I'm happy with the way these looking right now. Okay, Monk. I mean, I don't even know what Monk does at max level. So, sorry, at like 90. So, we got a lot to look at there. Alright. Oh yeah, you get this. This kit is nice. This kit is very nice. This is great for kiting. Checking like little stretches there and there. You just get improved like damage on your things. Melee mastery, beast chakra. This just improves them. Second wind increases the healing potency. Interesting. What is it by default? Well, I don't even know what it is by default. Well, you know, I know what to do to check. It's 300 more. That's a pretty big increase, honestly. I'm assuming every melee gets that. That's a pretty good increase. Enhanced Riddle of Wind, Enhanced Faint, it's just longer. Grants Fire Rumination upon 15 Riddle of Fire. So it's the same, but then you get a big hit when you do this. And then you get another big hit when you do this. And I don't think there's really any difference outside of that. These are just your buttons improved. But you have range on them? Interesting. You do. These are long cooldowns though. Well, these are not that long. It's 60 and 90. Yeah, these both have range. A Niwi, that's a good point. Niwi move to pull. It's 5 radius. Oh, it's 10. Wait, is that a line Niwi? No, that's a line Niwi. Okay, that's a line, that's a circle. Monk does a bit less damage and so since there's only give you chakra with Brotherhood. Like, are we talking like a big difference, or are we talking like a 5% thing? I mean, if it's like 15% less damage than the other DPS, then that's a big deal. Or at least it's something we have to think about a little bit more. If it's just like a 5%, I don't really consider them that different. Yo, yeah, right, good point. You can refresh the chakra out of combat every pull. You should. I don't do it, but you should. You should. I mean, it's pretty much the same as in EO, except now you have a range pull. It's interesting you have a range pull. Like, yes, it's on a cooldown, but I don't know if it will matter. Like, it would matter if we had, like, Petri or something, but then we don't know what the new pumps are, and I have no idea what they are. The only thing I know about the new pumps is one of them kind of looks like the votive, so I was thinking maybe one of them is like you guarantee a votive on the next floor, but like outside of that, I have no idea what the new pumps are. So I can't really make an assumption based on that. I mean, so Monk, but so now you can pull probably our monster there and there instead of having to risk a trap. I don't really think the traps are a big deal in a regular tier of Monk, though. It's more of a scoring thing. I've never really felt like not being able to pull at a distance was a big deal in my tiers on Monk. It really wasn't. Just 80% of the time, you can just face pull the person you want to pull. And the other 20% of the time, like usually, you're not gonna hit a trap. And then if you do, well, you just kind of like, you just have to get to the monster, wait a second, then attack it, so then you know if you hit a trap. Monk missing range pull is something that's exaggerated by people who haven't played Monk. I think so. I think it's a big deal in scoring runs. Don't get me wrong. In scoring runs, it sucks. In scoring runs, it really sucks because you're pulling like 15 monsters per floor. But then you have to pull them fast, you know? And then, now it matters. In a regular clear, I don't really think it matters. I agree. In scoring, it fucking sucks, though. It really sucks in scoring. I don't know. Section, I mean, it's a DPS, though. Like now I guess now we have to think of it as a DPS. I do think DPS will be really good in PT. It's hard for me to say because I still don't think not be able to pull from a distance. I mean, yes, you can with the cooldown, but without the cooldown, I don't think it's really gonna matter. Like I wouldn't really put Monk lower because it has no range pull, even if it didn't have the cooldowns. In my opinion, it's gonna be at the very least great. I feel like DPS, but then that's where we have to wonder: would you survive? How much more could you survive on Paladin compared to Monk, right? So then, would that really? Like, we have to kind of decide how tanky PT is. Like, if PT is very tanky, then DPS is significantly better than tank. If PT is like not as tanky, then like there's a universe where they'd be on the same level as a tank. Because then if PT is not that tanky, but then you can survive way more shit on a tank, like then it's like there's value to both. There's no way Monk goes above average without range attack. That's because you're thinking of it in the scoring context. I think for carrying context, no range attack doesn't matter. I really don't think it's a big deal without scoring. It really depends how I think the telegraphs are gonna be and the tankiness. My assumptions, as a reminder, these were my assumptions. And one of my assumptions is they said it's closer to the evenized scaling, which to me kind of means that the way I interpret it is the HP increase is going to be gradual and logical. Like, does that mean though that the HP is going to end up being higher than EO? I feel like EO, like maybe at the very, very end, it's going to be tankier than EO, but I don't know. if it's gonna be tankier than EO. If it's not tankier than EO, if it's tankier than EO or equal, I'd say it's probably DPS are much better than tanks still. If it's a bit less, I think tanks are gonna be significantly better than they were in EO. Okay, I'm going to assume if you play a DPS, we have to like make a cut there. I'm gonna be assuming if you play a DPS, you don't really have to think of time management. That's gonna be my assumption. So if I play a tank, I have to think of time management. If I play DPS, I don't. I'm gonna make the assumption that if you play a tank, you can survive way more things without even having to react to it, including the bosses. I'm also gonna make another assumption. I'm gonna make the assumption that if you have the double HP Juniper, you survive anything on a DPS with steel or a tank. Well, of course you would on a tank if you survive on a DPS with steel. So if you're prodding a boss, or like a boss has, let's say, difficult mechanics, I think if you have a double HP Juniper on a DPS, it's about the same as it'd be on a tank, except you're gonna do it faster than the tank. But on the regular floors, so the tank would have to think of time management more than the DPS, but then the tank might be able to get away with just getting hit by telegraphs there and there. You see, this is where like it kind of are like with what I just said. I would personally put it like that because to me it's not a big deal to have to think of time management. That's why this is gonna be fun to retroactively look at in the future, man. I kind of want to put it there, honestly. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm great. I'm blazing the tanks too much. Yeah, I mean, all DPS are great DPS. Melees are, I know they do a lot of damage, but like there's like a cutoff to that. It's like tankiness, right? Or healing. There's a point where you have so much that it doesn't matter. It's kind of the same with DPS. Especially, I'm like 99% sure this will not be like Heaven on High where monsters just like blow you up, right? Like, I don't think there's really gonna be something like an Anko, and then it's like you pull that thing and you gotta burst it or he's gonna kill you. So then if there's no monster like that, well, once your DPS does a certain amount of damage, it doesn't really matter if you do more, because then you already don't have time pressure, you know? So like, I don't know, like let's say your average monk does the set in 45 minutes. Well, even if the next DPS does the set in 40 minutes, it doesn't really change anything. Like it's not really gonna help. Kind of the same as the tank being tanky. Like if the tank already survives a telegraph, well, it doesn't really matter if the next tank survives 2 telegraphs, right? It doesn't really improve it. Not even on the higher floors for beating time and reasons. I mean, that's where it's fun. It's like PT hasn't released, so of course I don't know. Like, so that's kind of what I have to decide, you know? Like, I have to guess. I do not think it's gonna be... I mean, there's no way they had this whole slide about making it accessible and then it's like harder than EO. I really don't see that happening. EO was already very easy to time manage. Yeah, it's nice to kill patrols before they arrive. It's nice for that. Is it like a whole tier nicer though if you do that? Plus, you know, like if we assume the tanks can survive a telegraph way more easily than EO, then does that really matter too much? I'm gonna put in Descent for now. Controversial. I'm sure Finn of the Future is gonna look at this and gonna be... I can't believe that idiot put the tanks and Monk in the same tier. But I mean, we gotta decide. Keep in mind, this is for fun. And it's also for me to check jobs. Like, it's for me to check the jobs and learn what they do, because I don't know what they do. So, I'm gonna put it in the same tier for now. But like, just to be clear, I don't even think it's because it has no range pull. I mean, that has a little impact. I don't think... I really don't think being able to have burst is that valuable. It's gonna be that valuable. It wasn't valuable in EO to be able to have burst, so if I'm assuming it's gonna be similarly designed, then it's not really that valuable. Yeah, it depends on the wipe pumps. Like, because you do get range pulls on Monk with the new, like, Riddle of Wind and Riddle of Fire follow-ups. But then it's like, if we don't have a patch 3 equivalent, then it doesn't really matter. Okay, Dragoon. Don't know what Dragoon gets. Lens, but that's just an increase. No, it's not. What is this? Okay, that's not new. Let's check the traits first. Lens. Let's just pop cooldowns and see what button lights up. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, you don't have Dragon Sight anymore. Right, okay, that's new. Rise of the Dragon. Okay, that's the same as before. Same as before. I assume this will have a follow-up. Thor Diver as Thor Cross. Okay, so it's a bunch of nothing. You just get more damage. This has range. This has range. I don't remember if you have to... If it, I don't know if it makes you jump. I didn't really pay attention. Let me try it again. Spiral Blow, that's just an increase. This is just a weak AoE. Okay, that job really is a... This job is the perfect example of a job that I hate. Like, I hate that it gets nothing, man. Actually just the same. I would be pissed if I bought the expansion as a Dragoon main and then I was like, man, I can't wait to see what improvements you do to my job. And then it's like that. Though I could say that for a lot of jobs, to be fair. Alright, so let me just see. Does that move you? It doesn't. So technically, it's a chiding GCD. No, I don't even know if it's a GCD. It's an ability. It's a chiding OGCD. That's not really that. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so Dragoon's the same. Dragoon is an upside Dragoon is that's pretty high armor, so usually it can sustain a fight pretty good. It has no shield. It has this lifesteal thing that's okay. It's more important in Evaline PTD than it is there. Well, then it was in EO. But I think it's gonna be the same PT. I don't know. I mean, pretty close to Monk, honestly. I feel like Monk and Dragoon kind of deserve to be about in the same. I mean, logically, if I put Monk in decent, I would put Dragoon decent too. It feels wrong though to have like DPS not being great and amazing. Feels kind of wrong. I think we're gonna be shuffling the things a bit around later on. Well, anyway, Ninja. Ninja's next. Ninja's like it's actually my worst job, I think, to play. Like, mechanically, it's my worst one. Okay, what we get? Kunai's Bane. There was a big deal. Like one of these skills was a big deal. It's like a follow-up or something. Don't remember what exactly. What the hell is this? Let's check the traits first. Trait attack. Oh wait, upgrades it. Oh, so that's what you can do from hide. Okay, yeah. And it's a pretty big increase, right? You deal by 10. Oh, that becomes an AoE. Yes, that's the big thing. I think that's what it is. It becomes an AoE. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. But for scoring. Not really for clear. But for scoring, that's a big deal. What else do you even get? Henry Girodo. Tenshijin follow-up. Oh yeah, you can move during Tenshijin, man. That's fucked up. Okay, well, I mean, it's a bunch of... It's interesting if you get an AoE damage increase in now, but that's about all you get. Doesn't seem like there's anything else. Actually, what is this? Dokumori. What even is? Oh, it's this. That's a follow-up. My Meisui bonus. Meisui, that's... Is that the water thing? No, it's this. Ah, okay, I get it. Okay. It's like it makes your next OGCD just stronger. Okay. Yeah, Doku is the AoE of Mod, but then Mod becomes an AoE itself at this level. Like in Neo, I could trait attack, and it would hit one thing, but now I could just do Kunai. It's the same as Mod, but sorry, as trait attack, but it's an AoE this time. Dokumori is a different button. Like they're not related. You can have both, so you get 5%, 10%. You weren't ready for the Subaibi OST? No one's ready for it. They used to claim the data OST used to claim my videos all the time, but I don't know why I stopped doing it. Alright. Okay, Ninja's my worst job. I have to not let the bias get the better. I mean, hide is actually insane. I will say it was less insane in EO, because in EO there's not really like rarely are you in a situation where you have to skip a monster. In fact, it's almost riskier to skip a monster than it is to just kill it, because you know the time is not gonna be tight anyway. And if the time isn't gonna be tight, well, there's not really any reason why you would leave something that could just kind of like gank you later on if it's a patrol, or just leave something in your way. Yes, that's a good point, Zeren. If the last layout is like claustrophobic, it's pretty good. It's like much stronger to have hide. Now you know, I guess we don't have much to go off, but technically PUTD was open, and then MI was claustrophobic, and then EO was open, so technically the pattern, like the next one would be claustrophobic because it's the pattern. We did see the layout. We did see some screenshots earlier. There was not... The only open layout we saw was the first set, and it looked like the deeper you go, the more like dark and gloomy it gets. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a closed off layout. I wouldn't be surprised if it was kind of like a really closed off place for the last two sets. I don't think they would show the last layout. I'd be surprised. They probably want to keep it a surprise. Because in EO, we definitely didn't see it. It was a surprise. So I assume we didn't see the last layout. Shukuchi's pretty good too. Yeah, they showed the last boss. I guess technically from the last boss, we could maybe like... That's the last boss. Oh, well, we can... oh, it might be this. It could be this layout, maybe. This might be the last layout. I mean, it's the same kind of... This is the last boss. I'm pretty sure. This doesn't look like a very open layout to me. This looks like castle, you know, like castle, like a bit like even on high, like corrupted even on high. Yeah, I think close stuff layout that would make hide better. I agree. So like keeping in mind, in my head, all these DPS, like I guess to explain where I'm coming from, in my opinion, I don't really matters how much DPS the DPS do. Like it doesn't really matter, except maybe if you're bard. Like maybe if you're bard or dancer or like it's something that actually is a buffer, then maybe it matters. But like, I don't really think it matters if Black Mage does more DPS than Ninja. Like, I really don't think it's gonna matter in this kind of thing. So I'm mostly rating their toolkits and how I think it's gonna be effective. I think Hide plus the fact that it looks like the last set is gonna be more claustrophobic is probably a great addition. I will say though I'm worse at I'm much worse than Ninja the other job. So like if I definitely wouldn't even listen to my own advisor. I wouldn't be playing Ninja over Dragoon, but that's more just like skill. That's a skill issue. I think if you play Ninja well, it's probably better than Monk and Dragoon. Like you basically have all the upsides. You have a little more kiting power, so you can check more chests more easily. So that's a little like a little bonus, but you also have hide. And like yes, of course we don't know the monsters, but I mean it's better to have hide than not have it, you know. But keep in mind, you don't want to like put yourself in the bad spot just to use hide. Like you wouldn't want to zone on the floor with 4 patrols and then start hiding through like all the rooms and you're stuck in the hallway with patrols coming in both directions. Like that's not really how you're supposed to use hide. But I could see it being useful whenever you're gonna enter a room and you just want to make sure there's nothing around the corner, right? Or like there's a patrol and you really don't want to pull it in this moment because I don't know, let's say you're in a dead end and then you know that when it turns back, it's gonna go away for a long time. Or specific things like that. Honestly, it might be amazing. It's a melee though. So there's the whole uptime thing, but then it's a melee with a lot of range abilities. I don't know, maybe it's amazing, man. It's a melee, which is a downside, but then but it's an upside because of Bloodbath. But then Bloodbath, is it gonna matter if you have Bloodbath? I don't think it's gonna really gonna matter. I don't think we're gonna get bursty damage in PT. So Bloodbath's whatever. But then it has range abilities, so it can kite. It has a teleport, which is fine. It has hide, which is really good. I don't know. Let's put it in amazing. I'm fine with that. Can't wait to see how right or wrong I was when it releases. All right. Next is Samurai. All right, Samurai. Played a lot of Samurai in EO. On plugin update available. I'll do it later. Samurai, what do you even get in match level? I have no idea. I think you get like a big cooldown. Jofu. That's just an improved skill. Zanshin, that's the PvP skill. These all feel like upgrades to me. Reduction in cooldown. That's pretty nice, honestly, but for more of a scoring thing. It's more of a scoring thing. That's not nice and scoring that you have more often, though. That means you could blow up something before your pull more easily. Oh, let's just press buttons and see what lights up. Everything lights up. So this is OG. Same as before. Why can I not Zenshin? Can only be executed under the effect of Zenshin ready. But I'm Zenshin ready? What did I do? I'm Zenshin ready, bro. Wait, now I can do it? What the fuck? Oh, I need $50 for it. Alright, thanks. Thanks, I didn't notice. 9-4. So yeah, so it's just a follow-up after your Shoten. That costs you dodge too. So you need 100 dodge then. You need 75. That's just like probably super Midare. Let's check. Kendo, yeah, that's super Midare. And then that's just super Midare. And then what is this? Maybe the Iwi? That looks like the Iwi. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the super Iwi. Oh no, it's not. Is it when I use Shisui? Dude, this is such a mess, man. Jobs are such a mess nowadays, bro. It's so... It's like, it's easy to play, but it's so hard to really figure it out from the tooltips. It's like, oh yeah, this... Oh yeah, like, of course, if you enable your Meteor, then you don't know yet, but if you get your combos, you're gonna be improved. I wonder if the Midari is only from Meteor then. Let me see. So that's... I get super Midari during Meteor, but maybe I don't get it if I'm doing like a regular one. It doesn't... All that stuff doesn't really matter. It's just more damage. Nothing really changes the way you play Samurai. Okay, so you don't get super Midari if you're just getting it normally. Yeah, it's a 1100. And so is the other one. The Tendo Kaishi Setsukega. Tendo Setsukega. So like, yeah, it's really good in Neo. I'd say what really makes familiarize stand out in my opinion is these dashes. It's one of the few dashes that is actually reactable. Like, it's one of the few dashes I would use on reaction, and it actually would work. Like, something like Dancer, I don't know. I feel like Dancer, it's like this weird delay, and then in so many jobs, I have like this weird delay when they dash. Samurai is not one of them. Like, I could totally avoid an AoE. Like, I don't know, let's say this guy was doing a donut, and you know what when it does the thing where it flashes it briefly before it does it? Pretty sure I could react dash. Paladin has that delay, like everyone has that delay. Everyone has that delay, except like Picto, White Mage, Samurai. That's about it. Yeah, Dark Knight used to have a really good dash too. Red Mage has a little delay, doesn't it? I don't, at least in my head, it feels like it has a delay. It's not as smooth. Yeah, it like freezes you in place when you press it. It's still pretty fast, but it's not as smooth in my opinion. Like the Samurai one, it's like instant. It's like bang. It's so smooth. Right, I don't have, make sure I don't have Samurai bias though. But yeah, Samurai, I mean, it bursts really hard. I don't think bursting is a big deal for clear again. So I'm not really counting those. It has a really nice healing thing. Which in my opinion is the best. It's the best melee for saving potions. I don't think I'm really ranking with like, you know, potion sustain in mind, but it's really nice. Just a side note. Yeah, Tengetsu. It's a great skill. Also, if monsters were really tanky, which would make DPS even stronger, well, that also would be even better for Samurai, because then you could probably sustain yourself through a fight that you might not be able to sustain yourself on another DPS. It's a really good job. I mean, it's definitely better than Dragoon or Monk. It's the very least great. Is it amazing? I feel like it is because the dashes are so good. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm biased to the dash of Samurai. I just feel like the dashes of Samurai are insane because it's even more than just being like they feel great to use, but they're also not a DPS loss, which doesn't really matter. Probably won't matter if time management isn't that hard on a DPS, but it's still kind of a nice thing to know that you're pressing your dash and you're not losing damage for it. Just keep in mind on Samurai, you don't have to like save your burst for anything. Like there's no one that's giving you 10% damage for 20 seconds. You don't have a thing like that in your kit. Closest thing you have is a tincture, but the tincture is like kind of a irregular cooldown. I don't really count it. But you don't have to line up your burst, you know? That's the thing with the DPS. I think it's nicer to play if you can separate your burst. So like something like Ninja, it kind of has to go all in because it's so built around having like damage increase. But then what happens when you go all in on a monster is you often kill it, and then you have to, and then you lose all your damage. Then Samurai doesn't have an issue like that because Samurai can split its burst. Can you keep your Zenshin? No, you can. We tried that. It doesn't go away, so it doesn't disappear if you use GCDs. I find my bias is making me put Samurai in Amazing. I'll keep it in Amazing. I'll keep it there for now. Reaper. Reaper. Alright, Reaper, what'd you even get? I mean, I play a lot of Reaper in PvP. Probably gets that one, like, yeah, Perfectio. And then Shroud. Oblasio. Oh no, my keybinds are broken because I was trying to spin on this job last time. I'm not gonna remake the keybinds right now. I'll just slam and Shroud. I have a button that gives me Orphan Circle. Oh, am I supposed to use skills? How do I get the... Oh, is it different? Oh, it's just it's a different button. Damn, I lost it. Sorry, we're gonna build up to what I don't want to redo my bars right now. But I wanna press and Shroud because it's easier for me to know what the hell I can do if I have the button. Okay. So that's the same as before with the GCD. Yeah. And then you would finish with Communio. Which I thought would be a follow-up. I bet it is, but I don't have the thing on my bar. Let's try Dutani. Okay, so you get a stronger 1-2. I mean, that's whatever. How do you get this? How do you get like Sacrificium and Perfectio? Gluttony changes to... Oh, okay. I think I get it. Dude, why can I not get the... Am I dumb? Why? What triggers your plentiful harvest? I thought it was you use Arcane Circle and then you can use plentiful harvest. But I'm missing a step. Well, anyway, we're almost at Shroud again. Alright. So we do the combo. Okay, there. Okay, Sacrifice Stone. Is that just like a OGCD? It is. Okay. Perfectio. Oh yeah, it's based on your GCDs, right? That's because I'm just not using GCDs. Dude, what the? How do I get Perfectio, bro? Oh, it's after Plentiful. Okay, that's why. It's because I keep not doing it. It's after Plentiful Harvest. Right. Let's do it successfully this time. So this has nothing to do with Enshroud. I thought it had to do something with Enshroud because in PvP it's how it works. In PvP you do Communio and then it gives you Perfectio. Alright, now we have it. So this should give me Perfectio. Yeah. But can I only do... Oh. But I can only do it in Enshroud. Is that why? Wow, that's strict, man. That's really strict. So you always have to follow up both. You have to do this into an Enshroud. I mean, there's no reason why you would not do an Enshroud, but I don't really like that it's delayed damage. It probably doesn't really matter in PT, but at least I don't think it's gonna feel that great. No. So I mean, it makes it pretty unique. Another thing that's really great about this job is you can do this between every pull, and you should. I don't, but you should. Between every pull, you can just get a free 800 potency instant cast. Is the 30-second... Like, do you have to line up the 30-second with your Enshroud ending? Or is it... Like, can I do my Enshroud the 29-second and then I will still take the Perfectio whenever I do my Enshroud? Like, how does that line up? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Alright, last test. After that, we're gonna rank it. So I do this, it unlocks Perfectio, but I can only get it when I Enshroud. Okay, I think if I were to wait, it would actually lose a Perfectio. Like, if I wait until the 5th second to Enshroud, I still get the free Enshroud, but I don't think I would get the free Perfectio. Well, let's see, if I pop it there... Nope, I lose it. Okay. So you have like you have like a 20-second or something to do your combo. It probably doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That'd be annoying though if I was trying to like save the burst for another monster. Alright. Reaper has a really great out of combat thing that kind of like gives you a lot of damage. It has a great shield too. It's basically like the samurai healing move except worse. A shield is nice though. Like maybe a shield would make the difference when surviving. I don't think so. Like it's not a bait shield. You can stockpile the burst. I don't think stockpiling the burst is gonna matter in PT. I think if it's like Yo, it won't really matter. Oh yeah, regenerate your shield. I didn't even realize. Let me see. 10% shield. Oh yeah, when it breaks, you get a regen. Right. I didn't play this job in EO too much. I definitely think it's better than Monk and Dragoon. Maybe Raid. I think the Reaper dashes are clunkier than Samurai. Maybe that's my personal bias. To me, they feel clunky. I think great. I think in great. Alright, Viper. Holy, I'm gonna do Viper and take a break after that. Viper. Alright, this job, pressure it gets nothing. It just gets more damage during its burst. No, it gets something. It gets like... On call. No, you have this in you. You have this in you. It doesn't get anything else. So whenever you're doing Awaken, you just have like a whole combo, like a whole OGCD thing to do like that. That was a finisher, I think. But there's nothing different about this job. Okay, well, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the... Wait, actually, what is this? Serpent offering? I mean, that's in Neo, but I don't even know what this refers to. Serpent? Oh, that's just reawaken. Okay, uncoiled. Okay, that's just OGCDs after your coil. Is that a wrench? Can you beat this? I hope you can do it at a distance, otherwise it's pretty clunky. I would think so. Yeah, okay, you can. So that's just the OGCD spam. And no, that's Ouroboros, then that's the OGCD spam. So it's all the same. It's all the same as in Neo. No difference. I mean, Viper's pretty good in Neo. In scoring, in regular clears, it's basically... It's worse than... It's like a melee that has nothing going for it. It does nothing more than you would have on another melee. It's kind of a very baseline melee. It has a... Viper has really high damage and Divine PUTD. Like, that's very high potence on its GCD. So even though it's really boring, it hurts. But also get hurt a lot. Let me just double check something real quick. I think the defense of Viper is bad. Fun. Let's see. 3-6, 3-6. Okay, they're about the same. What about Dragoon? I think Dragoon's tank here. Yeah, tank here. More defense, way more defense on Dragoon, in fact. Oh, interesting. You have more defense on Reaper too, I didn't realize. Okay, so it's a squishy melee. It has a bad dash. I really don't like that dash. It has a delay. It's the one up. It's more true in PUTD, but the one upside that's nice on Viper, you have good cutting. I mean, that's more true. I probably actually because of this. Yeah, it's pretty good to cut a monster with that. Like if there's a chest in the back, you just build up to this, and then you can just do that. I don't know, that's pretty good, honestly. I think it's better than Dragoon. Yes, it's less tanky than Dragoon, but I don't think you're really gonna get bursted down. I'm more looking at the HP pool than I'm looking at like the defense values. Higher defense is a big deal in Evan on I and PT. It's not as big of a deal in Neo and probably PT. And then of course your burst. My keybinds are really ass for that shot. I think at this level I have to switch something around probably. What even generates a stack of Uncalled Fury? Is it just your side winter? Your vice winter? Sorry. Don't get a stack from doing that. I bet you get a stack from this. Yeah, one side rattling coil. Okay. I honestly being able to kite so freely and basically just start up your kiting. Being able to start up your burst, not a big deal. Being able to start up your kiting though is kind of really nice. We're not really caring about the damage output that much in relation to the other DPS. I mean, it's definitely better than a tank. It's definitely better than Monk and Dragoon. It might be amazing, man. It has no tanking. It has no defensive though. It probably doesn't matter too much. The kiting is very nice. It's nice that you can stuck it up. Now Reaper does get 1 GCD of kiting. Only 1 though. 1 per fight. I don't know. I think it's. You get 2. You get 2 on Reaper. Oh yeah, ARP is instant after a dash. But I think ARP is at it's at a DPS loss, right? Well, not if you use it as a last thing though. Shield is nice. Shield is nice, but I think it's more. I'm thinking of it more as in like saving potions. It's. I don't think the shield really gonna matter on your clear. I don't know. Is the shield gonna let you survive something you shouldn't survive? Maybe. If it's like really tightly balanced. It doesn't have a great dash either. The kiting is nice. I think I'm gonna put it in great. I mean it for sure doesn't compare to hide from Ninja, and I don't think it really compares to the dashes of Samurai. It's nice that you can range kite the monsters, but it's probably not gonna make it amazing. Hey, where the range DPS next? My worst played archetype. Okay, this made sense so far. This made sense with the like 10 screenshots we saw plus a few lines of explanations we have. No, it doesn't aggro. It doesn't have the enmity thing the tanks have. Same with Dragoon. Yeah, it doesn't ensure DPS loss if you kite. So, but it doesn't on Ninja either. Except Ninja has hide. But like both Ninja and both Ninja and Viper have kind of like bad dashes. I think the dash on Ninja is a bit better. So then Ninja's a bit clunkier because it has to like pull up all of its bursts for one target. But if we're thinking of the fact that it probably won't really matter to if you have to measure time in PT, then that doesn't really matter. So then it's Then it's basically comparing two very similar jobs, except one of them has height and one doesn't. That's how I'm seeing it. Like, maybe it's Samurai doesn't deserve to be there. Maybe I'm being too nice to Samurai. But it has really nice dashes, dude. I don't know. I think having really nice dashes made sense. And then if we compare like these two, like why would I say Monk is worse than Reaper and Viper? Because Monk... honestly, I don't know. There's not really any reason that it'd be worse. Maybe these should be there. Maybe I was trying to be too controversial by putting it on the same tier as the tanks. Because like the way I look at it, I don't really... Let's say I have a 90% clear rate on Mount. I don't really know why I would have a lower or higher clear rate on Viper. I know why I would on Samurai. Because there's definitely going to be times where either I have really nasty debuffs and like the Tengetsu really saves me, or the dash just like saves me. And then Ninja, there's definitely going to be a time where I get some really bad floors and then Hide saves my ass there. But like, would I really have a difference in playing Reaper versus Monk? Like, yes, you don't have a range pull. I mean, it's a bit worse. Liar kiting? I guess they have worse kiting. Like, that's probably why they're like a little lower. It's the era of the mage. I'm clearing overall valuing all the melees. Oh, well, just you wait. We haven't done the mages yet. I don't think they're gonna be very low on the tier list. Yeah, just you wait. It has no range attack. I don't think it's a big deal, but like maybe it's a big enough deal to make it a bit lower. We'll keep it like that for now. We'll keep it like that for now. Like votives, they look like they have multiple effects. Like, definitely looks like there's at least 10 effects on there or something. But then it's like if you get only one votive every 5 floors, then you're barely gonna see any effect. What does PGL mean? Oh yeah, the sub goal thing. So if I reach 80 subs, I was gonna do a pugilist run. Pugilist is Monk without a jobstone. However, the Euro and me have to remove that gold because that was like before PT's gonna release. I'm not really gonna do it with PT being out because I want to play the real job. So thanks for the reminder. All right, next we have Bard. Bard. I have no idea what Bard gets. I don't even know what it gets in Neo that much, honestly. More healing. Okay. Once again, I read the traits and I don't understand anything. Right, when it does all the sounds, it gets a burst. That's in Neo. Alright, that's just... That's this. Looks cool. Looks cool, does no damage though. Resonant arrow. Okay. That's just a GCD after that. I'm assuming this is just like a follow-up to your... Okay, it's just a follow-up. But you can, interestingly enough, you can do it without 3 stacks. Interesting, it doesn't consume your existing stacks though. It's only whatever stacks you have whenever you like open it. And that's it for this job. Nothing else. So Bard has the curse of being like a lower DPS because it's supposed to buff its allies over. You have no allies when you're slowing that place. So I feel like I have to be a little harsher to it compared to the other DPS. Though I would say in EO, it really didn't make a difference that you were barred. Like, it really didn't feel like it made a big difference if you were barred. So I don't know. Like, if we're assuming its damage is competitive enough where it doesn't really have to think of managing its time too much, like, what does Bard? Bard is a fully ranged job, so that's a plus. It has a kind of strict rotation, which is a minus. It has dots, which I wish it did not, but it does. It can remove, very interestingly enough, it's the only DPS that can remove a debuff from itself. If we get any of those. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be at least something that poisons you or something. Like, surely there's going to be a few things that it works against. It has a damage reduction. That's nice. Maybe let's just survive something that other jobs can survive. I doubt it, though. That doesn't really matter. Also, it has the graze thing. Though I would say in EO, this almost is never used. So I would assume the same in PT, especially if we get a claustrophobic layout on the last set. It's even less important. It has good AoE, but I really doubt you'd have to do AoE to just clear. I really don't think you would. I mean, you didn't really have to do it in EO, so I doubt you'd have to do it in PT as well. I don't know. Where would I rank it? I feel like I'm not going to be as harsh on Bard as I used to be. But to me, it kind of feels like it should... I don't think it deserves to be super high. Well, I don't know. Like... Do I think Bard will have to think of its time management? It's a ranged job. If we're assuming the less it's claustrophobic, though, it's less important to be at ranged job. Also, I personally am more likely to throw on a ranged job because I tend to not respect donuts as much. But that's a skill issue, though. I can't really rank with that in mind. I mean, personally, if you ask me, would I rather clear warrior or bard? I say bard. For sure. With my current knowledge of PT, I say bard. You ask me, would I rather clear paladin or bard? I feel like the less I know, the more I would gravitate to paladin. Once I know the plays, probably I would want to do on bard. If you ask me, would I rather clear bard or reaper or viper? There's no shot. Well, I would rather clear bard than ninja, but that's just because I don't like playing ninja, plus I'm bad at it. Samurai, there's no way I would clear bard over it. I mean, viper reaper, is it? That's a close one. I feel like I'd rather... I feel like monk, dragoon, bard. Yeah, I think these are about the same to me. I mean, it doesn't really get anything that's crazy new. It just gets a follow-up after it's already a follow-up button. Alright, machinist. Machinist, I know, just gets like a million drills at this level. Well, not this level, but in general. At this point, this job, they just keep adding like a drill equivalent to it. And it's probably the same in max level. I will say though, second wind is healing more. It's more important on range DPS than melee. So like melee, if they really need the healing, they have a big bloodbath. Range DPS have nothing to heal themselves outside of potions, so that's nice. 15%. These are just like different skills. Oh, yet charges in your drill. That's interesting. That'd be so fucking OP if that was PTD or Illinois. I don't think it's that OP in PT, but... It's the same value as the other deep dungeons? Wait, really? Like the second win, you mean by that it... Like, let's say it heals 10% of your health in EO. Well, it also heals 10% of your health in PT with that potency change. I guess we can try that. Kinda curious now. Oop. Let's see, I have 57,000 health, and this is the one that only gives 500. Oh, can I not just... I think I could have just done it without even pulling anything. Now I think about it. I just have to look at how much it heals. Of course it had to crit. Whatever, kill me. Do I get my cooldowns back? Yep, I do. Let's see, how much does that heal? 8,000 of 50... 57 divided by 8,000. 500. That's like what, 6? Wait, my math's wrong. 57. Dude, why is my calculator not doing this? 1 sec. Oh, it's just because I keep pressing backspace. Okay. And then let's see at max level. Really? I gotta wait for a cooldown? Well, whatever. We'll wait for it. But yeah, I healed 8,500 from a 57 HP pool, so that's like close to... That's like, I don't know, to 13% something. It's about 15%. So we heal about 15% with the potencies at level 90. I don't even know what this potency scales off. I mean, it definitely scales off your main stat, probably. Otherwise, it'd be like some other in physics that heals you for nothing. Oh, and this one heals you. Please don't crit. 35,000. $35,000 divided by 150. No, that's a pretty significant increase. That one is like 33% of my health, so it's 15 compared to 30. It was 15% and now it's 33%. That's right, 23%. Let's say 8% increase. That's pretty significant. That's like one. That's probably one extra auto attack. Well, depend on the monster. It's like 50% of an auto attack. Either way, we got sidetracked there. What the hell does this job get? More stacks of drill. Excavator ready upon executing chainsaw. Full metal. Oh, that's my PvP skill. I know that skill. So when I use chainsaw, which is just in PvE, it's just damage. It's like air anchor in AoE. Okay. Then I get a follow-up that is the same. Cool. Very interesting. So I basically have three hair anchors. And then I just get this whenever I do analysis, which is damage. It's a crit damage. Okay. I mean, the thing that's nice about machines having so many goddamn drills now is it's like you really, and there's nothing that buffs you, so it's not like you have to keep them for one thing. You can really just split them apart for anything. Selenium Machinist is gonna be S tier. I think it's pretty good, man. I don't know what I put it as in EO, but I mean, its damage is fine. There's no reason why its damage wouldn't clear easily, so we don't really have to think about that. It's a range DPS, so it has all the ranges upsides. It can split its burst easily. It can slow, though I don't think it's gonna be useful. I mean, honestly, it's kind of... It's not a very... I don't know, like, it's almost like there's nothing really... There's nothing that really makes Machinist stand out. It just is very easy to play. But there's nothing really that makes it... I don't think there's really anything that makes it stand out in EO and in consequent PT. I don't think there's gonna be a situation where I'm like, oh, I'm really glad I'm Machinist for this. Like, there's gonna be a situation where maybe I'll be like, oh, I'm very glad I can kite for this, or like, you know, use my range attacks while I'm moving, but that's a lot of jobs that can do that. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely... I definitely would rather play Machinist than any of these melees. Would I rather play Machinist than Reaper and Viper? Honestly, yes. Maybe I'm biased because it's so easy to play, and especially because the toolkits... Well, I wouldn't say they get complicated in PT. I would say they get complicated in EO for some of them. And then it just kind of keeps being the same in PT. But I don't know. I feel like... On initial EO Pro, you really felt the damage Machinist damage lighting. I did not have this experience. I kept Machinist as my last job for EO, and it blasted through everything. For me, it wasn't like that at all. I don't know. I think it's amazing, honestly. It's like a DPS with no downsides. Now, you know, they all have little downside. Like Bard, its damage, maybe it's so low that you have to think a little bit about managing your time. Like Dragoon. Dragoon's got a lot of like animation locked. That's not true that much anymore though. Maybe Dragoon should be there. Why did I put Dragoon low? Monk, there's like the downside of not having a range attack. It's definitely makes it a little bit worse. Honestly, the more I look at Dragoon, the more I feel like should be there. There's not really any downside to Dragoon. It used to have its downside of having a lot of animation locking, but they kind of got rid of that. It still has a Star Diver, but that's it. It has an okay like dash back. It has a bad dash in. I think Dragoon great. I think this makes sense. Yeah, it's a tier list for PT. It's first of all, it's an excuse for me to look at the maximum level toolkits more than anything, but I'm using the opportunity to do a tier list too. We love tier lists. Alright, next is Dancer. Oh boy, Dancer in EO. I really don't remember this job. It has the whole like flourish thing, which is just like gives you every button. It gets like a super thing sometimes. You just start full dance. Yeah, I remember that. I get a big dance there. What the fuck is that? Last dance. That's new. Okay. One sec. We gotta read there. There's this thing. I don't remember how you get it though. Fourfold. Is that just when you use this? I think it's just when you use flourish. That's just an AoE that you get when you do something. That's the eel. Oh my god, man, that sounds so complicated. Let me just press buttons. Let me play like I'm playing dancer. That doesn't... No, that gives me last dance. Does that just every time? Maybe if I do technical, I'm sure something's gonna light up. Oh yeah, Tilan. I remember this. This is a follow-up. And then I get Dance of the Dawn after Tilana. Yeah, this. Then whenever I do Flourish, I also get this. Which gives me last dance, but it would have given me last dance even if I did the regular one. Oh, that's it though. That's all the skills. Okay, so it's just a bunch of like extras. There's nothing that's actually different. I mean, honestly, Dancer is kind of like Bard, except I think it's a bit worse because you have to care about your AoEs a lot, as in the size of them, and it's generally it's not a good thing that you're gonna hit everything in a regular clear, so you have to like be more mindful of your positioning. It's also a very like centered around your buffs job. Doesn't matter too much though, but something to mention. I don't know though. I feel like probably the same tier as Bard. I can't really imagine that it'd be that different than playing Bard. This tier list is just kind of like ending up being, you know, DPS tank healer. That's with tanks being a little better than what I ranked them before, I think. Alright, casters. I think there's gonna be a lot of caster bias. Black Mage, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I know Black Mage, that's like a flare star or whatever, but I have never actually used it. So I don't even think it is set up in my UI. Oh no, it's down there. I did move it. So. So just different thunders. You can move your ley line. I mean, that's useful. Flash Star is just like... You have to get 6 Fire Force to do it, I think. And then if you don't get your 4 stats, you just lose it. You just lose it. This is 500. That's a lot of damage. I assume Despair would... Wait, what? How does that... How are you supposed to do your rotation? Because if you just do all your Fire Force, you have too many stacks of Flare Star. Are you just supposed to kind of like waste stacks of it? You just kind of like... You go like until you're Despair and then you just do it? Like, see, because right now it's time to do Flare Star, but I still have like 1 Fire 4 plus 1 Despair. Am I just supposed to like overcap it like that? I need to use paradox. Right. Oh, because it's gonna cost me mana. Is that why? It's gonna cost me mana, but then it's not gonna give me a stack, so then it's like -2. Okay, yeah. Though I still overcap 1. Looks like I still overcap 1 from the despair. Unless despair doesn't give you a stack? Maybe. Does it give you a stack? Oh, it doesn't give you a stack. Okay. Wow, it's very rigid. It's a very rigid thing. So you have to do 6 of them. That's kind of bad for Deep Dungeon, isn't it? The fact that you need to do 6 of them to get access to your big damage skill. Because in Deep Dungeon, you usually don't really want to like do... Like, you don't necessarily want to do this. That's more for a sport run, though. And I guess in a regular clear, you can mostly stand there and just do your regular rotation. I mean, you don't have the enchant timer, but if I was doing a base scoring poll, there's... Like, it's very likely I would be doing some weird, you know, like, you know, keep moving rotation with transpose and whatnot. But that I don't think that really applies in a regular clear, which is what we're ranking it for. If you kill them up after 2 fire force, you just don't transpose. I mean, in single target, I don't think it matters if it's rigid, because you probably just you get to a room, pop ley line, burst a monster, flare star, and then when it dies, you just do like transpose, umbral soul. Though maybe you don't do it now, because now you would actually want to do your flare star if you're like 2 stacks away. So that means you probably don't want to transpose umbral soul every pull, which is what you do in EO. But there's not really any reason not to transpose umbral soul every time you dream fight something. In AoE pull, I wonder what that would look like. Like, especially if you have to move a lot. Because usually my AoE pulls, I don't remember the setup, but it was like a very specific setup. It was like yeah, you have to wait to constantly do damage while you're moving. I forgot what it is, though. I forgot the way to do it, but there's a way. What is it again? I did it so much in my last run. I think you don't choose your paradox when you're in eyes. It's something like that. It's like you switch to eyes, you fill the gap until you transpose back, then you do transpose this. It's like something like that. And then you fill with GCDs? I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't sound like you'd have player star if you're doing the whole kiting thing. Oh no, I remember. You want to have fire 3 going into fire. Right. You want to like have the stack of fire, but without using it until you're in fire. Yeah, and then you use paradox in eyes. I think that's what it is. Like that. And then you go fire 3. Then you do as many instant casts as you can. And then as soon as you can't anymore... Oh, but then you have to keep your fire proc. Oh no, right. So you have to do... Right. 1 sec. I know this has nothing to do with the tier list. Let me just remember briefly how that works. It's like you want to go in fire. You want to get a fire proc. Not use it. Then when you go in eyes, you want to do anything except your paradox, I think. Then when you go in fire, you do this. No, you can do paradox. You can do paradox. See there I didn't get a proc. No, you have to do Paradox and Fire because that's how you get your proc. Right. That's how you get your instant cast proc. Right. Yeah, like that. That shit in Yo is insanely overpowered, bro. I keep messing it up though. I keep using Paradox and Ice. You want to keep it. Yeah, and then you do Fire. Then you just make sure you end your Fire phase with Paradox. Then you switch. Yeah, okay. I'm remembering now. The only issue is you kind of like need a GC to do the filler there, but then you go back in Fire, you do this, Paradox, then you do whatever you want. Probably where you spend your Swift cast, then you go back, do whatever you want, but don't choose Paradox or Fire proc, then you go back, bang. Oh, and then you have to do something to regen your mana at some point, right? Okay, anyway. This has nothing to do with the tier list. Because there was a way to like forever try something in Yo that's actually really useful in a scroll and run. Especially when you get to the last set, it's like basically you're basically doing a machinist rotation on a monster as you're moving to your next destination. It's so good. Anyway, I wasn't really Yes, third stack of Polyglot. More damage is whatever. Okay, so let's just... Oh, that's how you get the immediate cast of Despair too. So you have an instant cast Despair. I mean, I can't imagine that Black Mage is... I mean, what are the strengths of Black Mage? I guess we really have to look at it in relation to other jobs, right? Would I play Black Mage over Dancer, Bard, Monk? Yes. I mean, the range, the ability to beam from a distance. Like, yes, you got cast times, though not as much as before, but I don't think it really matters for a clear if you have to stand still. Would I rather play Black Mage and Dragoon? I think Dragoon, yeah. Viper and Reaper. And you have a shield on Black Mage. You have a ley line that you can move, and you can dash to it. That's not really a reliable dash to avoid things. You're not gonna react dash to anything. It does big damage, but I don't think it matters if you do big damage. Oh yeah, you have sleep, right? I didn't even think of sleep for the healers. It totally slipped my mind. Sleep is very nice in Yo. It's like one of the only ways you can escape a bad luring without a witch chain. Sleep is very, especially if I see you, is very good. I can't imagine it's below amazing, but only because of sleep. I think without sleep, I feel like without sleep, I'd be pretty comfortable having Black Mage there. But like sleep is actually really good. If we assume the monsters are the same as in Yo, so they all have like, most of them have a something they do after being come out like 3 seconds. Then like, you know, Swift cast sleep, perfect for it. And you don't even have to know if the monster is gonna be sleep. You can just do it like you just Swift cast sleep, and then if they still don't sleep, then you witch chain, right? Like it's not like you even have to know that they're sleepable. You just try to do it. Black Mage also is even if you don't have your Swift cast, you still have your triple cast for it. I know Black Mage is great damage, but I don't think damage really matters for this. I think once you're like at the point where your time is management is whatever, it doesn't really matter how much damage you do. Now, like I said, I don't think the strong damage, I ranked it very highly. Because in Yo, it didn't matter. I mean, yes, it's nice because sometimes you're gonna be in a room and you can kill a monster before patrol arrives compared to, let's say you're playing Dancer, then you can do it. But I mean, there's a reason Dancer's 2 tiers below, right? I mean, more like these guys, and maybe the Monk too. I feel like there's I feel like your damage doesn't really matter if we're talking Black Mage versus Rubu. Like, it matters if you're from a distance and you're cutting. But like, I don't know, like Reaper versus Black Mage is like, I mean, you're gonna zone into the floor, you're gonna pull a monster, they're gonna die within, I don't know, like 5 to 10 seconds of each other's. Leyline landmines. You think you're gonna have to do leyline landmines to clear? I don't think you're gonna have to do that. Maybe my expectations are low, but I personally expect that on, let's say, everything that's until... I expect that everything until average clears with single target pulling and no landmines. Easily. That's my expectation. Maybe like... I'm not sure about between decent and average. I think... No, I think everything up to subpar. I think all of these jobs, everything above subpar is gonna clear easily without doing anything. That's just not like a 1v1. Scoring is different. Like scoring, I wouldn't really be ranking them like that for scoring. Well, like scoring, it's too... I can't possibly do a tier list of scoring when we don't know the pumps. Like, the pumps matter too much for that. Next one is Summoner. Okay, Summoner is like the only job, literally, that I've played in like current content. So I know Summoner. Summoner is the same. No, zero difference. So, you know, it's the same. Like, you get a healing thing. You get this healing button. That's it. Healing, don't think healing gonna matter in PT. I much more care about HP pulls. It's nice that you have 2 shields. 2 pretty beefy shields, 20%. I could see a 20% shield saving you. Honestly, though... Summoner. I'm not gonna be talking about it that much, but yeah, all it gets is the same buttons. It's still the machinist of casters. It has sleep. It's insane. Honestly, I mean, you're not gonna like that. I think Summoner is better than Black Mage. I really think Summoner is better than Black Mage. Like, if you ask me which one I would rather clear, I'm so much more likely to clear on Summoner than Black Mage. Well, so much more. I'm more likely to clear on Summoner than Black Mage. In fact, it's making me wanna like maybe shift everything down and have like a super amazing tier. Well, not a super amazing, but like maybe everything should be shifted down. Because I look at these, I'm like, I don't know. The amazing is stacked, right? And it might get even stackier soon. Summoner, it's just like, it's so easy to play. Plus, it's cooldown base 100%. Plus, it has sleep. Plus, it has shields. Like, there's really not much it's missing, dude. The only thing that sucks about Summoner is the mandatory dash. But like, it sucks in a scoring context. In this clear context, it's not really gonna... I mean, if it kills you, you're like really badly timed with the monster. And then Black Mage definitely would do more damage than Summoner, but like that doesn't really matter. It's really... Machinist and Summoner are like very close. But I think Summoner is better than Machinist even. Because Machinist doesn't have a shield. And it doesn't have a sleep. Maybe we'll reorder them. I mean, there's definitely like... I would be extremely surprised. I would be extremely surprised if Summoner, like everything that's in Amazing, I'm very surprised if when the Deep Dungeon comes out, if I look at this tier list again in like 2 weeks, I don't think they're at least great. Like it's I'd be very surprised if Ninja was average, like or Samurai was like decent. Like I'm pretty confident in this top tier. Like it's I guess it's more of a matter of like how top tier are they, but they're all like really strong. What did I put Samurai over Reaper on 100? I think it has way better dashes. I think its dashes are actually way more reactable than the other jobs. Like everyone else has kind of weird delays on their dashes. That's the big reason I put it there. And the other reason is Tengetsu is pretty nice. But Tengetsu is more just to save potions. I don't think it's really for... It's nice, but I don't think it really is going to affect your tier too much. It's mostly the dashes. Pictomancer. Pictomancer is actually the job I'm most excited to play at level 100. It's like the only job that actually gets cool things. Almost. Paladin kind of gets cool things too, surprisingly. I didn't expect it got cool things. Picto gets 3 stacks of Muse, which is insane for scoring, at least. I will say, out of all the casters, this is also the casters that benefits the most for the Swift cast. Because it's like, you really use Swift cast on cooldown on this job. It's like... So often you are in combat and you just want to swift cast a big hit, especially because the way your GCDs are built, they have long cast, but you can output the damage right away, right? So having the swift cast being a lower cooldown is actually really strong there. I think it's the caster that benefits the most from it. Addles, whatever. Actually, the skills themselves. Actually, so you get. Faster to go out of combat and draw. So you get, whenever you use this, Starry Muse, you have to do 5 GCDs inside of it. That's the sense before. Now the way it works is once you do 5 of them, you get a quick rainbow drip. You basically just get a finisher like this. You also have this extra like button. You just get more damage. It's whatever. Not really worth mentioning. Now, the thing that's cool though about this is it's actually like a GC. It's like a Red Mage GCD because you can actually hardcast it without being in your burst. That is kind of cool. I don't know how useful it's gonna be for PT, but it's kind of cool. That's an option. Especially with the Swift cast being 40 seconds, because like, let's say you're fighting a monster and it's like getting low. And you're just trying to kite away from it, and then it's like 1 hit from dying. Well, you can just swift cast this thing like that. Bang, swift cast this thing. You have no damage reduction. You still get the 1000 damage from it. Also, even better, you get a white paint from doing it. I didn't even realize. If you just raw cast it, you get a white paint. You do, bro. That's. So you actually get like kind of a bonus if you use it at the end of a fight, because then you get an extra white thing. You get 1 more GCD of kiting. It's very interesting. I don't know if it's really gonna matter for a clear, but it's still like... It's the job I'm the most excited about its level 100 changes, because it's actually gonna make a difference in how I play it. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, you get more drawings and you get a swift cast that's improved, which everyone gets, but I think in your case it's pretty damn good. Look at this dude. What, you're not doing your PT tier list? You're not doing a tier list for content that's not even released yet? You're missing out, bro. We're gonna do a tier list on my tier list one day. Alright, Picto. Okay, let's try not to get too biased there. Picto. It has sleep. I feel like I can't really put Peto lower than Black Mage. Like it's Summoner that's like the outlier there. It's Summoner that I feel like deserves to be higher, but I can't really put Peto lower than Black Mage. It makes no sense. It's like an easier to play Black Mage. That's the way I see it. Oh, full, yeah. I'm sure it's a bad job. I'm sure it's a bad job. The only thing I don't like about Peto in Deep Dungeon is the circle, the ley line. Like, you have to be in it. It's pretty big, and it probably doesn't matter in a regular clear. It's more of a scoring complaint. It has a shield that's worse than Summoner, but it has a shield. It has like a lot of cutting power. Oh yeah, it has an insane dash. The smudge bias is showing up. It has an insane dash. It's one of the few dashes that I'm comfortable using to react to something. Like usually I don't really use dashes as a reaction. I use them, you know, because it's like, oh, after this GCD, I'm gonna like do a dash. Peto is like one of the few jobs where I can dash on reaction, like Samurai too. It's like fast, instant. It's super smooth. Yeah, and the free speed boost is nice. This is a stacked amazing tier. Let's rank Red Mage too. And then we might maybe like look at this again. I feel like the general order makes sense though, which I know it kind of just ended up being like DPS tank healer. But I mean, hey, the jobs are homogenized, bro. Like, what can I say? I mean, it doesn't really... It's not really illogical that they would end up around the same power level. Alright, what the fuck does... I don't even know what your job does, Sage. I don't even know what your job does, Sig. What the hell does Red Mage do at max level? Swift Cast is also pretty nice for Red Mage. It's less nice than Picto, but still nice. That's just to withstand your combo, probably. Thorn Flourish. I don't know what that is. Grand Impact. Grand Peripheral, blah blah blah. Okay, I don't understand anything. Let's just attack, see what lights up. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. They made that television brain that... they don't even have to think about it anymore. It gives you the skill to use after. Okay, well, Red Mage is easier to play now. Guaranteed. You don't? Did I misinterpret it? I thought it gave me... Oh, it gives me 2 instant casts. Okay, never mind. Then there's still... You still have to make sure you use it well. Okay. Honestly, Velvet, I'm gonna be honest. If you never told me that... If no one told me that, I think I might have played 2 years before even noticing you gave 2 stacks. So you saved me from like 2 years of wasting a stack of that shit. I swear. I would have never... Sure. I would have never tested that. Alright. Okay, so you get 2 stacks. Bang, bang. Well, I wonder then, can I use these 2 stacks on like Ver Thunder and then do this? I'll try it next time it's up. What other cooldowns do we have? It's probably like a melee combo extension. I know you get a Lightning Yui. That's a Lightning Yui. Refulgence, just a Yui. Hey, that's a counter in PvP. I think that's all the skills. Yep. Okay, let's see. I'm curious. If I use this, then this. Okay, no, it's 1 instant cast and Grand Impact. Does Grand Impact go away? It doesn't. Interesting. You can actually keep in the bank. That's pretty nice. Oh, red mage is alright. I guess it's okay, and 100. It's kind of interesting that it changes a bit how you're gonna play. It changes a bit how you're gonna play with acceleration. What's my game plan for PT? Blind clear. Blind clear for my first clear. After that, it's kind of like two branches. If it was easy, then I will just score right away. If it was hard, and when I say hard or easy, I mean like re-clears. I don't mean if the blind was hard. I mean like, do I feel like the re-clears will be difficult or not? If the re-clears are difficult, then I would try and get Omni Ward first again. If the re-clears are easy, I would just go scoring right away. I really don't want to subject myself to 21 clears in a row. If it's like EO, and I realize after the 4th clear that actually I'm gonna like first try all of them because it's super easy to time manage, right? So I don't want to be like you and I have to have a discussion with my chat, you know? We don't need a discussion. We don't need to have to talk. What's your plan, Say? I think you're gonna do it blind, right? Well, are you even playing this game right now? I like this acceleration change a lot. It's nice that you can delay the grand impact, but only if you don't have to jolt. Like, it's kind of interesting that it prevents your jolt from being cast, because then that means you need procs for it. But then you do get a guaranteed proc from doing acceleration, so you always have at the minimum 1. And then depending on if you get more procs, well, you adjust. It's nice. I like that. Unfortunately for Red Mage, I don't know if it really compares to the Behemoth we got in Amazing. I mean, that's Sleep, which is amazing. Honestly, I think it has to be an Amazing. It has... Red Mage is special. It's the only DPS that if you were to get actually the most garbage, disgusting floor of your life, even in EO that could happen. Like, you could in EO technically get a, I don't know, a Gloom, no ability, no item that no DPS could do, and then I don't know, like you're having the worst run of your life and you have like no certainties. Like, Red Mage is almost the only thing that could actually do something like that. So like, I think Vercure is niche, but it's like whenever you're like in the niche of Vercure, it's amazing. I think. Plus, you're still a caster with Sleep. Now, yes, you do less damage. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I don't even know if you do less damage, but we don't really looking at that. You do have to stand still a little more. And your kiting is not as great as a Black Mage, Picton, Summoner, but I think for a regular clear, it's not that big of a deal.